And now, from the bowels of the internet, it's the Hate Bit Podcast.
And we're back! The Hate Bit Podcast is on the air! Welcome, I'm Yellkaos. Joining me as always, the unsinkable AlphaOmegaSin.
Hurricane Sandy? Fuck that bitch. I fucked her to death. You say necrophilia? Nah, that bitch was alive when I started.
Indestructible SaintedMagnus.
Oh, yeah, I've come out from worse things. Let's get on with this.
And Razorfist is on vacation. We thank you for joining us today. We have a very special guest, He's been with us a few times, and he's going to help us out, fill in for Razorfist in the meantime. Game Face Magazine's man with the most worthless game face of 2012, Rob.
What's up, bitches? What's up? Silent Rob the placeholders here.
He's like a bookmark.
That's a.
He's also got the He's also got the build of a bookmark as well, so he kind of fits it nicely.
I'm a space filler. I fill spaces. That's what I do. Okay.
Hey, that's all right. Hey, man, that's what there is left to do in Ohio. I know that.
You're damn right, my friend.
I didn't think there was anything to do in Ohio except get wet and get lost.
I was gonna say, all my friends in Ohio, all they do is smoke and drink.
I thought
Yeah.
hillbilly.
I was like, that's something to do in Ohio.
So what do you want to do tonight? We can smoke or we can drink.
Let's do
Better yet,
both and change
Let's
it
do
up a little bit.
both.
Wait, I got an idea. Let's smoke and then drink, and then we'll play with guns.
Yeah,
Fucking right, man.
bet-
Oh, by the train tracks? That's the best time.
that sounds like a great Friday night in Britain.
It does, doesn't it?
Well, the amount of
Anyway,
people getting shot and
welcome to
grenaded.
our show. Welcome to our show. We got a great big show today. We got a lot of discussions. We're going to be talking about everything because that's what we do here on the Hate Bit Podcast. We're going to talk about a movie I hate. We're going to talk about a movie series a lot of people love, but I don't give a shit about. We're going to be talking about the goings-on with the Sony PlayStation division. A whole lot planned for you right here on today's show. So welcome to the Hate Bit Podcast. Anyway, we're going to open up as we usually do with the discussion topic. And as you know, at least you should know, the Wii U demonstration kiosks are out there at GameStops, and I've seen them at Target department stores. They're out there, and a couple of us, when I say a couple, just a few, have gotten hands-on experience with the Wii U. For more, we go to AlphaOmegaSin because he has a lot to say about it.
Oh, dude, I'm doing a shoulder dance right now. Think about it. I'm like,
Are you doing the white man overbite dance?
Dude, I can do every kind of white man dance until you start asking me to do actual dance, and I just sit down. But
That's good.
now, I got my hands on the Wii U, and I was pretty excited because I was just like, all right, I want to see what this fucker's all about because, new console, and obviously it breathes life into the fucking console wars and whatnot, blah, 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 blah. But anyway, so got my hands on one of the units. The only demo that they had going, at least for the one that I was in front of, was Rayman Legends. So I went and tossed that fucker on. And if you have not played Rayman Origins, quit being fucking retarded and go play Rayman Origins. The shit's like $15 or $20 brand new, so you don't have an excuse to be like, ugh, I'll wait till it drops in price. Because look, $5 fucking is not going to happen until the system's long gone and dead. Fuck. So they had Rayman. Okay, it was amazing. Like, if you thought the graphics in Rayman Origins were awesome, this is actually better. And on top of that, Rob, what was the fucking song that they had in it again? I forgot the name.
Fucking Black Betty, man.
Yes. Okay, Black Betty is playing throughout the entire stage, at least at one stage, because there's like a couple little options that you can pick, but I went through to one stage. And the stage, like all the jumps and everything, all the debris that's falling, the stage, the enemies, everything, goes along with the rhythm to the music. And it's really clever and really, really cool. And I liked it a whole fuck ton. It was just really, really awesome. I had nothing bad to say about it. The controller was a lot lighter than I thought, and that's saying something considering they have that big, thick, gigantic fucking cord that's attached to it and shit that looks like a curly fry, and you can't really pull back far on it. So they had that, but it's pretty damn responsive. The analog sticks on it, they felt pretty good. I just felt like the analog stick that's on a nunchuck controller. My only real complaint with the controller in general is the placement of the buttons, like the shoulder buttons and everything. that shit's like a little far apart. But other than that, I liked it.
Oh yeah.
Good to hear.
Well, I have to say, I agree with you about the weight of the controller. It's much lighter than I expected, but doesn't it feel solid?
Surprisingly, like I thought, like
It does.
if you look at pictures of it, it looks like that when you're playing it. And I've had this happen. I've gone pissed and I've like want to twist the controller. Well, you won't do that with the Wii U controller unless you love throwing money away. You're like, oh fuck money. That shit. I don't give a fuck about money. Money can eat every dick, but. Like you're holding
Twist
it,
it,
and it's
like,
like
it's
if
all
you tried
rainbow.
twisting that, it'd be like, can you rip phone books in half? No, then what the fuck are you trying to do, fancy pants? Like that
Oh.
shit ain't
Are
gonna
you
fucking
trying
work
to
here.
get even with a machine?
Yeah, like I see
Look,
that
it's
you're
not the
awfully
screen's
butthurt.
fault you suck.
It is. It's honestly, it's not too bad. What's kind of weird though, I shit you not, I don't really recall looking at the actual system all that much. I was just staring at the fucking screen and staring at the controller the most because the console itself, I don't really go fuck what it looks like. So long as I can put a disc in there and it works, I'm good to go. So, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, a
It actually
Nintendo
looks like
console with
really,
HD
really,
graphics.
really
What the
wireless
fuck?
router. I'm sorry.
Well, I was gonna say, is it like the build quality? Does it feel like if you drop this fucking tablet, like it's just gonna explode in a mushroom cloud kind
No,
of thing?
not at all.
Okay, this
Not
does
at
feel
all. It doesn't.
solid then.
Like
No,
on
it's
the
just
bottom,
plastic is very.
like the bottom part of it feels really really thick by comparison to the top part where the screen and everything is at. I'm pretty sure like you could drop it and it's going to live, but obviously from higher and higher up and a more solid like if we're dropping on cement or some shit, like if you have a cement floor at your fucking house for whatever reason you can't afford carpet, then yeah, you might have a problem. But I'm pretty sure you've said goodbye to a couple of phones and remote controls and children and things like that. So this shit happens sometimes. So like what happened to what
It's
happened
gonna
to
be
little
really
Billy?
weird
Well,
if this
he
system
fell.
if this system comes out and people have problems throwing them through their TVs again. It's gonna be kind of strange. How's this happening?
Dude, can you imagine they throw that shit like oh my god, it makes me think of what is it, Odd Job, throwing the fucking hats. You're gonna have some kind of random Nintendo nerd just chucking fucking Wii U controllers. This motherfucker's loaded too.
I feel sorry for the nearby statues.
Yeah. Always fucking taking the heads clean off.
Oh, but
You know, there's
well,
gonna this.
well, I was going to say what
What?
it reminds me of. It reminds me of a Dreamcast controller, but with a very very big VMU screen.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, I can go along.
I can see that.
But
Well, see, I haven't played it yet. My brother played it because I'm not actually making any effort to get off the couch and actually go experience the system or anything like that. But my brother relayed the information back to me, and he said it's actually pretty sweet. Because that was the first thing I asked him was like how it felt in the hands. I'm asking him all these questions and shit, and I'm like, well, I got my curiosities up a couple more notches, that's for sure. So I'm definitely piquing my interest. And then talking to Alpha about it, so I want to actually play it now at least. So I guess that's something.
Yeah, it's something like I'll tell everybody this. It's at the very least worth checking out. I'm not going to tell everybody listening right now this is going to win you over, but if you at least give it a shot, you don't want to go and just, I dismissed it just based purely off of, fuck it because I can. But if you give it a shot, it's really not all that bad. I would just like to see more demos made available on it because I thought, with it sitting there, it's like, oh yeah, they'll have like 3 or 4 demos ready for it. I know there won't be no Zombie U on it or some shit like that, but at the least like Super Mario or maybe Nintendo Land. No, they had nothing but Rayman. I was like, but that was enough for me, and it made me happy. So, and the screen, that's something else I forgot to mention. The screen on it, when you're like cycling through shit, it's actually pretty damn responsive. I thought it was going to be just a clusterfuck mess. Like I was gonna have to press down on it like I was trying to gouge out a fucking eye, and then swipe my hand across like I'm trying to slit a fucking throat.
Like a membrane keyboard.
Yeah, like I didn't want to have to press on it like it's a fucking Tiger Gamecom or some shit. Like I just want to slide my finger across it. That's it, and everybody knows what I mean about sliding your finger across. Sliding your finger across. Oh yeah.
That's what she said.
This is now a 1-900 line commercial. But yeah, I mean, it was responsive. The shit worked just fine. The buttons, everything on it worked. It looked really good. It responded pretty good. I want to see more out of it. You know, just getting my hands on one game of one demo isn't enough for me to be like, oh my god, hallelujah, this shit is so damn good. But it's it's decent. I'll definitely give them that much. And the controller is pretty fucking good.
I will
Good.
say having Black Betty in that game probably helped out quite a bit too.
Dude, fucking right, man. And I shit you not. The entire time I'm sitting there, I'm playing it, and I'm fucking sitting there like tapping my boot to it. I'm like, fuck yeah. And you see this dude like wearing all black, like standing in front of this little Nintendo kiosk with like two little kids fucking watching from the side and long fucking beard, angry looking face, and then just gets all happy. And I'm like, yeah. I fucking bob my head, tap my foot. It's fun. That's all I can say. I love Rayman. Fucking love it. Gonna finger bang Rayman later on.
Whoa, whoa, whoa! Hey,
Hey, I'm expressing love in the most literal sense I possibly can. The only way I can.
well, where you're gonna stick it, I don't know, and I
I
hope
could
that
just
works
lay
out
it-
for you.
Hey, you can always just lay it across the forehead sometimes and take a funny picture and update your status online.
Well, that'll be funny.
Exactly.
That's one thing
Yeah.
I'm wondering about is just going back to the screen briefly. Is it anything like the PlayStation Vita screen or say the iPad screen where it's actually pretty bright and the black's contrast is pretty good, or is it just
It
like a,
looks fantastic. I was very surprised. I was expecting it to have sort of a gray to it, if you know what I mean.
yeah,
Like,
like old school tablet sort of idea?
yeah, very, very much so. And no, it's very vibrant and it's very touch responsive. It's very surprising. I was expecting it to be kind of be kind of cheap, but it seems very solid. I'm
Mr.
very
Chaos, when you got
Yes.
your hands on it,
Yes,
did they
Admiral
have,
OmegaSin.
did they have anything available other than Rayman?
No, that's all that was available. I actually, now don't tell anybody, but I stopped into a GameStop because I saw it through the window, and I still feel dirt. I know. And I'm wrong. I have to atone for my sin. But in the meantime, I'll tell you all about it. No, I actually had to wait online a little bit. There was a couple of assholes in front of me, but I got a hold of it and I made sure it was clean, and that's all. But
Did
I
you
was
wear the
really
rubber
interested to
gloves?
see.
Did you wear the rubber gloves?
No, because
How many
I don't know if
games-
you know this,
how
but
many how many games they get you to pre-order while you're waiting in that line?
About 17, and I don't know what a Tiger Gamecom is, but apparently that's what's in my Christmas future. So there's that. They wouldn't steer me wrong at GameStop, would they? They wouldn't sell me something I don't need, would they?
Did they
Oh.
try tickling your behind with a Game Informer?
They did.
These things. Oh, okay. I was gonna say, because if they didn't, then I'm pretty sure that the manager is probably going to give them a good old what for.
Hmm.
Yeah, because if they didn't, you just plain weren't in GameStop. But
So
anyway,
we've had some hands-on experience with the Wii U now.
yeah.
I
and,
haven't.
Well, Alpha
I
OmegaSin,
haven't. I
Have you
haven't
been
seen
swayed
it.
in any way?
I mean, my thing is, I already knew that I'd get one down the road. It's just I'm not going to get one right now because I don't have the fucking money. And that's really the honest truth. And I know damn well nobody in my family and none of my friends have enough money to be like, oh, don't worry, we'll get you one, because nobody fucking loves me that much, I assure you. So the fact is, if I
Hey,
want...
wait, Hey Nation, we're taking donations for Alpha OmegaSin's very own Wii U, so
Shit,
please
man.
drop us a line at 8bitpodcast@gmail.com.
Even if that happened, what's fucked up is apparently, and like I've heard this from a bunch of people, is apparently like pre-orders for the good version of the Wii U, like everywhere. I'm talking like all the major stores, all the online ones for the black model of the Wii U are pretty much gone, and all you have left is like the basic model, which that one is like going to be gone soon, and they aren't going to be restocking the premium edition of it until sometime in May.
Yeah.
Wow,
Which I
that
think is
sucks.
fucking retarded.
That sucks.
Yeah, they better catch on to that shit because the hype train is gonna sail long before that.
I think that this is really what I think that they're trying to do is they're trying to recapture at Lightning, and they're just trying to fucking lower the amount of supply that's there, ramp up the demand for it, and then ensure that their stock is going to readily be gone by the time they make the next shipment. That's the only fucking guess I have.
So pretty much exactly what
Well,
they fucking did with the Wii, pretty much.
Yeah.
So
See, and, that's a bit of a conspiracy theory. I don't think they have that kind of time, frankly.
I don't know, man. I think they've had plenty of time, at least to do something like this. That's the only thing that I can think of, because to me, it just doesn't make sense. Like, how could you be that understocked during the holidays? just
Yeah.
seems strange, especially when there's like if you're selling out consistently and you're well aware of that, wouldn't you want to keep it in supply?
Well, that's it. That's exactly it. I mean, they seen what happened with the Wii. Like grandmothers slicing motherfuckers' throats to get this fucking system.
Trampling people in Walmart.
It
Oh.
was madness. Total madness.
I'm
So
still
they
making
know.
a wager about that.
Oh, dude, they totally know. They totally know the supply and demand for this kind of shit. So they should have had their shit straightened. That's for damn sure.
Definitely.
I definitely have $5 on somebody getting shanked outside of a GameStop for their Wii U.
Oh, for sure, dude.
Like, that's a bet I'm definitely gonna fucking win because somebody's gonna leave like, I have a Wii, shank, shank, shank. I don't have insurance and no Wii U. Yeah, and then the only Wii U you have is an ambulance siren coming your way.
Right, I think we pretty much
Where are
killed that.
Paris?
I think we've pretty much killed this discussion.
I think so. It's
It's
shanked.
been good to know.
It's been shanked.
Getting shanked over the Wii U. So, these are the holiday predictions right here from the Hate Bit Podcast.
Multiple murders for a Wii U.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with that. That's also part of supply and demand,
Yeah.
at least according to Mitt Romney. That's another story for another time.
Also, multiple
Now we have
counts
to.
I was gonna say multiple counts of murder is also a good song from Torture Killer. Somebody look that up. Seriously, trust me. Anyway, good.
Everybody should know that one. Everybody should know Torture Killer,
Oh,
the 6 feet under tribute that somehow turned into a real band.
Well, there is one thing I've got to mention, and it's more specific for my side of the pond. The Wii U British advert campaign came out this past couple of weeks, and the only thing that people are remembering from that is the Nintendo Land footage where he goes pew 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 when he's throwing the ninja stars off the bloody Wii U pad.
Oh my god.
I'll see if I can find a link to it on YouTube, and I'll put it in the description down below for everybody to check out at some point.
Awesome.
I just had to point that out. It's the only thing that they're remembering. It's funny as hell.
And we thank you, Mr. Magnus. Or will he care?
You
Yeah.
don't care. You never care about me, you bastards.
Well, I'm terribly sorry. That's just the way it goes, you know?
Yeah.
If you really cared, you wouldn't have given back Hong Kong. Anyway, it's time for the Hate Bit mailbag. It's time for the cunt bag. And this week's edition of the Hate Bit cunt bag is brought to us by Game Face Magazine. And over at Game Face Magazine, they say, get some game on your face. Whatever that means.
All over the face.
All over the
Yeah, all over
face.
your face. So, and if you have questions, comments, concerns of any kind, please drop us a line at hatebitpodcast@gmail.com. Now, this piece of mail is coming to us right here at YouTube, to our YouTube inbox, and it comes from the Caleb Corner. And Caleb Corner says, what video game genre do you want to like but can never seem to get into?
Ooh.
That's a very interesting topic for me, because for me, I'll tell you, I've always wanted to understand RPGs and the absolute godly dedication that people have towards that genre and the franchises they're in. But I just can't. I don't have that. I mean, I don't have much of a life, but I got like a job, and you can't have a job and be into RPGs. It just doesn't happen.
That's true.
That's true.
I can't be the only person who feels that way. But Silent Rob, what genre is it for you that you want to be a part of, but it's just not doing it for you?
Me, for sure, it's got to be RTS games. I mean, I've tried and tried. I remember back in the day, I'm like, oh, I'm going to get into this StarCraft game, and I fucking boot it up, get online, get my ass kicked by a Korean guy, and then never play it again. I'm like, fuck this game. Every time, man. I've really tried, too, because it's RTS, it seems like it's a type of thing I should get into, I'd be able to do and stuff, but yeah, I've just never been able to get into those games. You know, I have Command and Conquer Generals here around here somewhere. I have StarCraft. Somebody else gave me a copy of StarCraft 2. I can't get into it. I really can't. It's a shame.
Fuck you, Jang Choi.
That's it, man.
SaintedMagnus, what are you feeling like, man? What do you think?
At the moment, I can't seem to get my head around Japanese RPGs, and the reason being is because, yeah, I played Final Fantasy VII and played a majority of the Final Fantasy games, but it's just the modern Japanese RPGs I just can't get into at the moment. I just can't seem to grasp the whole point of them. Now it's
Well,
like
what is it that doesn't grab you? Is it the gameplay, the storyline, the overall theme?
I think it's because I've grown used to playing action RPGs that I seem to be going more towards them. You know, like the Skyrims and the Oblivions and the Fallouts and those sorts of RPGs instead of the turn-based ones that I originally started playing on back in the late 90s. I just seem
I mean, how the more recent RPGs that are more of an interactive novel
yeah, something like that. I think
or an interactive movie.
an interactive movie. You mean Metal Gear Solid 4?
When- Hey,
Hell yeah.
or-
A movie with the odd bit of gameplay for half an hour.
just in case, you know.
Oh no. No, it's
Alpha
just
Omega
them. An RTS as well. There we go.
Just them and RTS.
Yeah.
See, a lot of hate for the Japanese corner of the world. AlphaOmegaSin, how do you feel?
I honestly have to say RTS. Just whenever it was brought up, I like that and puzzle games. I like puzzle games. I just suck at them, and I can never just sit down and dedicate a lot of time to becoming really good at them. But RTS, you know, Age of Empires, fucking Warcraft, you know, not World of Warcraft, but actual Warcraft. Everybody remember those? Anyone out there? But
You go back
you
to
know,
like the
'cause
1900s, man.
dude, literally, like I had Warcraft 2, Warcraft 3, I had Age of Empires 2, I had the first StarCraft. I like all those games. I like playing them in one player mode. And like Silent Rob said, the minute I went online, I got so fucking destroyed. Like I didn't even realize, like I swear it was only like a minute and a half into it, and
Yeah.
they had an army like the size of a map just absolutely fisting my little area. Like I have two dudes out getting resources and they're getting shit stomped by tanks. And I'm like, how did you get this stuff already? That's not available to get that. How did no? So
you
I
get,
just
you get, like cussed out in Korean and shit. You're like, this fucking sucks, man.
it's fucking depressing, dude. And the thing is, like, you feel so fucking sad. Like, you don't even feel angry. You just feel sad. Like, what happened? Like, somebody bullied you out of all of your lunch money, and you're just hungry. You're like,
That's it.
no one's
That's it.
no one's gonna say nothing. That's not right. That's I wanted Cheetos and a pizza. Like that's all I wanted, and a fucking little chocolate milk in that cardboard box. Why can't I have that? But yeah, those two genres. I mean, I like them a lot. I suck at them, plain and simple. So yeah, those are my picks.
Hell yeah, dude. I mean,
Well,
nothing's
that's fine.
worse than like playing a game, thinking you're good at it, and then going online and being like, I don't know fucking shit about this game, man.
It's like that when you start
Gee,
playing
that's how I
games
feel to
like
fight
Call of Duty, though. You start playing Call of Duty on, you've played it all the way through on hard, or you've played Battlefield and you've done it all the way through on hard, and then you go online and you think, yeah, I'll be able to take this, and then before you know it, you've been killed 15 times over, and you're like, what the fuck?
Like, what
Because
happened?
there's some jackoff standing behind a rock shooting you in the back of the head.
I know.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's pretty much Battlefield and yeah, that is pretty much Battlefield and Call of Duty. It's quite funny.
Well, there you go.
That's
Um,
Is there another question in the box that we can have an answer to?
There's another question in the box. Absolutely. Now, this one we've covered this topic, I think, before, but it would be good to get some Silent Rob feedback here. This comes to us at hatebitpodcast@gmail.com from James Tibbins, and James says, "What do you think was one of the most disappointing games of all time that you've played?" Mine was Resident Evil Operation Raccoon City. This game was very disappointing, and I think it was upsetting, and it was really bad.
Oh man, disappointing games.
Oh,
Man, that I mean, dude, like it just goes on and on for me with that kind of stuff. I mean, you know, like I remember when Bomberman Act Zero came out, when there was nothing, absolutely nothing on the Xbox 360 to play, and I'm like, oh, there's a Bomberman game coming out. This is finally gonna be something worth playing on this fucking system. And then it just comes out and just ruins everybody's fucking lives. You know, it's just one of those things. There's you know, when a game comes out like that, it's just broken and wrong in every fucking conceivable way. I mean, that's towards the top of the list for sure. That fucking game. Yeah, I mean, I remember another one's like Alone in the Dark. I remember, if you guys remember all the hype for Alone in the Dark before that fucking game came out.
oh
Holy
God.
shit!
When that dropped, I was like, yeah, Alone in the Dark. I've not played this one since the one on the PS1.
Dude,
I played it on the Xbox 360. It was fucking horrible.
It's borderline unplayable on the 360. Like they made it at least playable on the PS3 to where I could actually beat it, But yeah, I remember the 360 version of that game was so crippled it was unbelievable.
Yeah.
It was ungodly.
Oh, that's one disappointing game. I had a disappointing game just recently that I didn't fall for the hype, but me and a friend of mine were going to play it co-op on the PS3, and there was a massive game-breaking bug in it, where basically after you defeated the fourth boss on it, it kind of fucked the game up for you, and you couldn't go back because it was an auto-save feature. You didn't have a save point for yourself.
Oh yeah.
And that was Lord of the Rings, the War in the North game, I think it was called.
Oh yeah.
We were both pretty upset about that because we just dropped 40 quid on the damn thing. So that was our disappointing game.
Well, we gotta at least talk about. We gotta put Duke Nukem Forever in there somewhere.
Oh, that has to be brought up. I waited, and I managed to get the collector's edition for £24, and the collector's edition is fantastic. It's one of the best collector's editions out there, but the game itself, no.
Dude, I remember when the demo came out for that game. The demo came out for that game and was so bad. Like people were making excuses for it. They're like, "Oh, this is just a test build." Or like, oh, this is a mistake. This isn't what the real game's gonna be. And like people making excuses, and I'm saying to myself, I'm like, this is gonna be the game. Like it's really gonna be this fucking bad.
Well, I don't know, a demo where you're just throwing shit around the bathroom for 20 minutes. Yeah.
Yeah. And then they give you one of the most horrible levels in the game with the fucking desert part, where you're out in the desert shooting shit. And then when that ship explodes, that you blow up that ship, and it was like a fucking PS1 era explosion. And I was like, oh my god. I saw the fucking freight train coming then. I knew it was coming.
Yeah. But even when you play it through and you finish it, you got one. It's just the little gags throughout the game which are funny. He says the power armor's for pussies. That's the best line ever in video games. I don't give a shit what you say. It is just funny.
Is.
And don't forget
that game. It's like the problem with that game is it makes fun of like conventions of like first-person shooters and stuff that first-person shooters do nowadays, and then it just turns right around and does the same fucking shit. You know? I mean?
The ego meter, for example.
Exactly.
Yeah, and you forgot to mention one more thing. Wall boobs.
Oh, the infamous wall boobs, man.
I don't know. I say like if I had one major complaint, and this may just seem kind of petty, but it was something that bothered me. Was it was missing like one of the most key weapons in the game, the mighty boot.
Oh
yeah! What the fuck?
I wanted to mighty boot up a ladder again. I want to jump off something and mighty boot something in the face before I officially land on the ground, and that was all taken away from me. I mean, like they had the when the enemy's stunned and about to die, you could kill them sometimes with a boot, but. No, I want that as my regular weapon. I was bummed out that they took that shit out. I was like, what?
Somewhere along the line, they had to be like, okay, we're only gonna have 2 weapons in this fucking game. We're gonna have rechargeable health. I mean, like they give you the trailers for like the old builds of the Duke Nukem games. They give you like the trailers of what this game's look like over the years, and every single old trailer looks better than what we actually fucking got.
Oh no.
It was unbelievable.
One of my favorite weapons in the game was the Ripper. The 3-barreled machine gun thing.
Oh hell yeah!
In the actual game, it had nothing to it. It was like fucking throwing frozen peas at the fucking enemies.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was like, what the fuck is this? And as soon as you get the shotgun, you think, yeah, shotgun. It's got a lot of fucking power to this. And it was just like fucking a snowball fight.
It totally was, man. It had no oomph to any of the weapons. It felt wrong. It just felt totally wrong. The whole game did.
He went from having a gold fucking Desert Eagle to having a gold M1911. Now I like the M1911 pistol, but for God's sake, keep the Desert Eagle. It's Duke Nukem for fuck's sake.
Exactly.
One thing I'd like to add to the pile of major disappointments that we've actually had in games because I didn't even read about it. I just got the shit home. Was that Super Mario All Stars 25th Anniversary Edition on Nintendo Wii? When I got that shit home and busted it open, I was like, "Where's the rest of my game?"
This is a Super Mario All Stars ROM.
Yeah,
What
they
the fuck
they
is
gave me
this?
a Super Mario All Stars ROM, and the worst part about it is there was somebody who tried to tell me, no, it's more than that. I'm like, I will bet you $50 that it's not. It's just a fucking ROM. Nowhere in the game does it show the fucking controller layout for the regular ass Wii remote or the classic
Yeah.
controller any.
Yeah.
It's just it is just the ROM. That's it. They gave us a fucking CD with a song from a couple games, and then this weak ass little book.
Dude,
and which is supposed to be a timeline.
I bet you there's only like 15 kilobytes of data on that fucking disc.
Dude, yeah. Okay, a straight fucking DVD is what, 4.7 gigabytes altogether? And I mean, like, this is like a rant video I made fucking forever ago, but I can still fucking, because I can see that fucking box from where I'm sitting right now. It's in right up with the rest of my fucking Wii games, right beside Last Story, has no goddamn fucking reason to be sitting beside Last Story, but that motherfucking bullshit, when I got that home, I was just like, goddamn. And that's not something you can take back. As soon as you open that bitch, it's yours. The end. Yeah. And I was just like, And there's people like, oh, well, I thought that was pretty. No. You were fucking lying. Like, that's not the way that you celebrate your most famous fucking franchise. The one that even people that hate Nintendo, absolutely despise Nintendo, can be like, yeah, Mario's pretty cool. Like, because it's Super Mario.
At least give us the fucking ROM with Mario World on it, you cheap ass motherfucker.
Yeah. I was just like, where's Mario 64? How about the Mario games on Game Boy, like Super Mario Land? You know, there were so many things that we didn't get. Yoshi's Island. Where was Super Mario RPG? They could have gave us fucking anything at all, just an addition. Like, fill that fucker up to the brim. Did they? No, that shit was just a goddamn cash-in fucking bullshit. I was like, suck my fucking balls. And it sucked on so many fucking levels, man.
Yeah.
It could have been worse. They could have charged you $1,200 for a leather jacket.
Oh,
oh, there we have another. Well, that's Capcom though. That's typical fucking Capcom.
Exactly.
I'm still waiting to see this stupid arsehole up to unbox that on YouTube. You know,
I can't
not
wait
found
till
him yet.
I want to see the stupid motherfucker that unboxes it and can't fit into it. They put it on and they're fucking like, it goes up to like mid forearm and shit. And then while they're putting on, they're like, oh, this fits pretty good. And as soon as they go to put it on, they're like Chris Farley and fucking Tommy Boy and rip that bitch. Fat guy in a little coat. Fat guy in a little coat. Rip that bitch.
I stopped going on dates in 1997.
Even if Resident Evil 6 was good, that leather jacket would have been a fucking completely stupid purchase. I mean, for fucking as bad as the game is, I can only imagine how.
What's hilarious about it is when that whole thing went down and they just announced that they had fucking like identical cosplay jackets sitting online for dirt cheap. I'm talking like 100 or two.
Yeah.
And I was just like, look at this. And people were like, oh no, this is like fine leather from like the best fucking leather people in the entire world. You don't understand. I'm like, motherfucker, I've seen some of the finest leather jackets, coats, trench coats, vests, fucking assless chaps, you name it. I've seen them, and you know what? This isn't going to be the same.
Yeah, man, you got to look them right in the eye. I was like, dude, I know leathery skin. I'm from Pennsylvania.
Yeah. Damn straight, damn skippy. But there is, man. There's another one to fucking say that was disappointing, especially for when you're young. Sonic 3D Blast. I was like, why'd you do that? And especially because it's like you played Sonic 1, 2, 3, Sonic and Knuckles, Sonic CD, Sonic 3D Blast. What? What? Why death?
That's it. Like the ground started to get a little bit shaky with Spinball, and then 3D Blast just sent it plummeting. It was like, oh my god.
Well, Spinball, all it is a pinball game with a Sonic theme. So
pretty much, I like aspects of that game.
I like the fact that it's playable. I don't like
that's it.
The platforming
on it is 3D Blast.
Here's the thing, as a pinball game, Sonic Spinball honestly does everything that it needed to and then some. It took all the conventions of a pinball game and then built upon them with a Sonic theme. That's cool. It's not trying to be the regular games, but Sonic 3D Blast was supposed to be Sonic, but in 3D, and instead we got it's Sonic Marble Madness.
Yeah, that's it. Man.
Let's take Sonic and make the entire stage feel like it's fucking coated in like cocoa butter or some shit, and we're gonna have this isometric fucking view just like way up in the sky, and it's all rubbish. And it was like the very first taste of bad until everybody got their hands on like Sonic R. So.
Oh,
And then they really knew what bad was.
oh, there is a number of bad Sonic games. It was like Sonic Adventure 1 and 2. Yeah, they're good Sonic games. They're not the best Sonic games, and by a fucking margin. And I'm talking about the size of the Grand Canyon margin. What have we had on the Wii? We've had, the Sonic and those rings things. We've had Sonic Black Knight. We've had Sonic Colors, which wasn't too bad, actually. We'll give that one.
Sonic Colors was actually decent.
We'll give that its due.
We have Sonic Goes to the Proctologist. Go on.
But one Sonic game where I was actually pretty impressed with, and that was BioWare did it, and that was Sonic the Dark Brotherhood.
Dude, people hate that game so much, and I don't understand why.
It's
because it's honestly not a bad game. When you sit down with it, it's actually a decent RPG. Even if you're like, I don't care about the Sonic universe. Like, a lot of people are like, Mario RPG? Are you fucking high? And you play it. You know, you got one of the best RPG teams at the time, and then a Nintendo franchise all coming together. Okay, well, Sega did the same exact thing. I just don't understand how it didn't strike gold for a second time. But I think it's mostly attributed to the fact that Sonic has a lot of backlash after so many bad games. So when this surfaced, it wasn't going to get the respect it deserved because people automatically were going to hate it just because it was a Sonic game.
It was like that with Sonic Generations, though. Sonic Generations had that same stigma.
Oh, yeah.
You know,
well, it's like when you're playing Sonic 06 and you're like longing for the days of playing Sonic 3D Blast. Then you know there's a fucking problem. So.
Oh man, that shit was like, it's kind of funny because I was watching I was looking up video game glitches recently, and Sonic 06 came up, of course. But I was just watching gameplay footage of it with my girlfriend. We're just in there laughing our asses off because I forgot how bad the game was because it's been ages since I touched it. And I was just watching it. I was like, dear God, what the fuck were they thinking? Like, throughout the entire duration of developing this, who the fuck gave this a green light? Like,
I have no idea.
Yeah. It was
that
unbelievable.
shit was so broken. Like, he's just talking to all those humanoid people that definitely don't fit in there, and everybody talks moving their arms about like they're trying to fucking like eventually get off the ground and fly away from fucking Sonic and Tails. And like, in the way that everybody just like, there were so many fucking camera problems. So many times he just went through shit, fell through things. Just like it was a big fucking mess. Dear God.
Just the basics of movement. They couldn't even get movement right in that fucking game. It was ridiculous.
Wait, you're using the analog stick? Oh, let's back up here. Okay.
Back it up. Back it up.
Oh wait, you did back up. Okay, no, that's the problem here. Let go of the analog stick. Oh shit, you did. Okay, glitch. You touched it, glitch. Sorry. Oh, the disc is in. Up, red ring of death. Sorry.
Oh man.
Like
that's a blessing in disguise. That you're playing
at that point, it's kind of like I'm kind of glad my 360 died. I think that was a good point. I'm pretty sure I was having a fucking aneurysm, and I can't handle this.
Yeah. Well, 360 comes out. I was like, I died, so you didn't have to.
Yeah, I died for your sins.
Yeah.
And buying this goddamn thing was the first.
Apart from the Zelda CDI games and the Mario CDI game, what is there actually a bad Mario game?
Yes, there's many.
Mario Time Machine, Mario's missing.
That's enough to warrant killing people.
Yeah, right there. I mean, how many kids were suckered into fucking renting those pieces of shit, let alone
you know what?
Wait. I like how you went with rent, because I was one of those fucking kids.
Oh, that's it. I rented it. I knew people.
I didn't get sidled with a fucking purchase. No, sir. No, There would have been a lot more death at my elementary school had that been the case.
I do have one unpopular opinion amongst some people, but it's an opinion. Like an asshole, we all have one. One Mario game that I have to say I was disappointed with a little bit in some aspects was Super Mario Sunshine.
Yeah,
I agree.
I agree. I
'Cause-
had that. I never liked it. So
Here's the thing, like I'll tell you this much: the game is pretty good, but once they take the water pack off of you and you go through those special stages where you have to do the traditional Mario platforming, like those extra bonus stages and shit, those are fucking awesome. If the game was like that entirely, I'd been like, this is amazing. But the water pack was just and also Super Mario Sunshine is like by far one of the worst commercials I've ever seen in my entire life. It was like a Captain Planet commercial, but worse. Because you couldn't even laugh at it in like a goofy way, like, look, he has red tighty whities and like a green mullet. No, this is just terrible. It was about like keeping everything clean and happy and clean, and it was fucking weird, man. It just, I don't know. I didn't really dig that nearly as much. And that was supposed to be the successor to Super Mario 64. So expectations were like abnormally high.
Well, I know my opinion, most people disagree with me, but I really don't care for the new Isn't that true? I don't care
I'm glad you noticed.
Well, the new Super Mario Brothers games, man, I just don't care for them. Most of them, I mean, the one on the Wii's okay. Me and my brother played through that one, but it just feels like I'm just playing a retread of older, better games whenever I play those games. So, it's kind of like how you feel with Sunshine. That's how I feel with the new Super Mario Brothers games. It's just like, I don't know. I just feel they need to take Mario just take it into the next step, and these new Super Mario Brothers, new Super Mario Brothers, new Super Mario. It's like, come on, it's not new anymore. It's not even close to being new anymore. It's ridiculous. So, and the one on the DS, the one that just got released, I played, my brother bought it, and I was just like, so I'm collecting 1 million coins for what reason now? Nothing? Okay.
Because.
You know what? Here, I don't even know how the fuck I skipped over this. Final Fantasy 13.
Oh man.
Considering like the development time that was going into that shit, once it came out, I was like, yeah, when I got that, and I was like, whoa, hold on.
No.
They used shots of that game to promote the PlayStation 3's bloody graphical capabilities, as well as that trailer that fucked every Final Fantasy VII fan.
Oh, dude,
Final Fantasy 13 is a type of game that when I first beat it, I was okay with it. I was like, okay, I see what they're trying to do. I see what's going on here. But as time passes and I played it like halfway through again, it's just they dropped the ball way too many times with that game. I mean, it doesn't even open up and let you really play it until like 30 hours into the motherfucker? Yeah. I mean, it's crazy.
And it's really sad. Like my save file is still sitting on the system. I'm like 25 hours into it. And because I got sick of it. I sat there and it wasn't even like it. It's one of those things of, oh, you just gave up on it too soon. Like, no, I mean, I was forcing myself to play through. Even other people who are watching me play it who were avid Final Fantasy fans and big time RPG, even JRPG fans had watched it and were like, this is fucking stupid looking. Why and asked me legitimately with a wall of games behind me, why are you playing that? And I was like, well, cuz leave me alone. And I just sat there like playing.
How anybody can say that putting 25 hours into a game isn't enough is fucking out of their mind. Okay, that's plenty of fucking time.
There are people that don't even put 25 hours into their job.
Exactly.
Dude, that's the thing. I mean, that's more than enough time to come up with like in RPGs. One of the main things about them, story. The story, I didn't like it. I didn't like the characters. The music, I really didn't like that. The fucking the very linear level design to the game, where I couldn't just run around and do shit. And Hope is like one of the worst characters I've ever seen in an RPG. Like, if I could manifest that little lesbianic looking motherfucker into an actual person, I'd punch his fucking lights out. Like, holy shit, was he horrible. He looked like Ellen DeGeneres with like the worst fucking outfit ever. I couldn't, and their summons, why the fuck were they all fucking Michael Bay Transformers? Why is this happening in my Final Fantasy games?
Admiral
Sorry.
Omegasin, that was pretty brutal. You punched them in the face and then you critiqued their fashion.
Yeah, absolutely. Because
You,
I'm
sir, are relentless.
I'm a fashion consultant. All of a sudden, look at me with
You're
my
not just the
band
fashion
shirt.
police. You're the fashion Gestapo.
Yes. You know what? I think I'm going to make that in a title now. Nice.
See, there you go. Alpha Omega Sin, the fashion Gestapo. Well,
There we
anyway,
go.
very disappointing over there. Yes, and so fuck those games, and we hope we get better ones in the future.
Libby.
You know what? We got some news going on right here. Apparently, the PlayStation 4 or Orbis, I'm doing the quotes with my fingers, dev kits were released / sent out. SaintedMagnus, what of it?
Right, well, news has just been floating about recently that Sony have sent out the PlayStation Orbis development kits, which are basically, they are modified PC cases at the moment. They've put in the basic stuff so then people can start making the games for the next PlayStation system. Orbis, as we all know, is Latin for orbit, so expect it to look like a bowling ball, as Yellkaos mentioned before. I'm just going to go over what's inside this piece of shit. So the GPU, it's going to run on an AMD A10 APU series graphics processor. Past reports said it's got an 8-core CPU in it, so that's going to be interesting. Memory is expected to be between 8 and 16 gigabytes of memory. Obviously, it's going to have the Blu-ray drive on it, because Sony loves the Blu-ray drive. Now, this is where things start to get interesting. It's a 256 gigabyte hard disk, but I don't think it's a hard disk. I'm certain it's going to be solid state, especially with it being a 256. Now, the reason they're putting that in is so then when they're running the games, they're expecting it to run at 1080p 60, also with 3D thrown on top of that as well. Everything else in there has got Ethernet and Wi-Fi, so you can connect to the internet, and it's an HDMI only system. So this is quite interesting. Now, one of the things they did mention.
Bad move. Bad move.
I know, because I for one still use Component. I've started using Component on my PS.
You're not the only one.
Just moving on. But now, this is one thing that sparked my interest, was the fact that, like we just recently had the PlayStation 3 store that they've just turned into the Xbox PlayStation 3 store, basically.
Yes.
What they plan on doing with that is that if you need to buy DLC for your game, you can pause your game, press the PlayStation Home button, download the DLC whilst the game's still running in the background. And they're trying to make the menu interface run a bit more smoothly, which is quite. I'm not sure about this. Now, I'm hoping that the specs for this new PlayStation Orbis. Now, I'm sure that's going to be a development name and not a special name. The actual name of the console, like the NGP was for the Vita. I'm not worried, but I'm not jumping at these specs yet, because basically that's what you can put into a PC nowadays for half the price of what is expected for this console to cost. I've heard people say it's going to cost $600 or it's going to cost $800, and some people actually said it's going to be $1,000. I'm like, well, that's a bit stupid.
I'm sure a few of them are going to require your firstborn male child.
You have to have a sacrifice to buy the new PlayStation console.
Too Jewish.
Too Jewish. All right.
Yeah, I think, because Sony tried the $600 thing with the PS3, and that worked out so well.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
I don't know if
I mean, like that HDMI thing is like, HDMI, as far as I know, and I'm not the most tech savvy guy on the planet, you've probably guessed that by now, but if I'm not mistaken, the HDMI thing has not really reached full immersion yet, so I think that would be a big mistake that would really cut themselves out just a corner of their consumer base.
Yeah.
Wasn't this thing all supposed to display in like 4,000 progressive or something like that?
Yeah, it's supposed to have this weird fucking ratio that's not actually out there yet, in terms of TVs. Not even the biggest 60-inch bloody high-definition 3D set that can do what they want.
Which means that everyone is going to have laser eye surgery just to see the fucking images on the screen.
Oh, no. I'm just waiting to see what size TV you're going to have just to play fucking the next Metal Gear Solid game on it or whatever.
No kidding. You know what I'm wondering? why are they even bothering with a fucking code name? They really shouldn't be keeping this a secret.
Oh,
In a
no.
time when you're not telling anybody anything, you might want to tell them something. That's just coming from me, a little bitty podcast host, but,
Well,
you know.
I'm going to make a prediction as the resident Sony fan. Not fanboy. I'm not that big of a fan of them. But I'm going to make a prediction that this thing is not going to be as good as what they hope it's going to be. The PlayStation 3, yeah, it's a powerful piece of kit, and I still think it's got at least another 3 or 4 years in its cycle yet before they even think of bringing this thing out. So expect expect announcements probably around E3 2014, I'd say, or Tokyo Game Show 2013, something
I
around
think
that.
AlphaOmegaSin feels otherwise.
Go on, Alf.
Yeah, I'm honestly calling both the Xbox and next PlayStation this E3.
E3 2013 is going to happen?
That's what I think. I mean, to me, it makes the most sense. I mean, no doubt. Like, I'm 1,000% certain Microsoft's going to come busting out with theirs because everybody's already known full well that Microsoft's had their shit floating around for a while. But Sony would be stupid to wait like a year after. So you'd have the Wii U, then the next year you'd have the next Xbox, then the next year after that you'd have the next PlayStation. They'd be coming in, you know, way too late in my opinion. They don't want to give that much fucking leverage to their competition. If you come in swinging at the same exact time, you know, granted you're going head to head and you're bound to lose customers, but if you got superior shit, you know, a stronger launch lineup and everything like that, and backwards compatibility, which from the looks of this, it will, because this bitch is going to be running Blu-ray. So if this can run, you know, PS3 games as well, that right there is a fucking saving grace. And hopefully Microsoft has their shit together and they actually have full backwards compatibility. And, you know, you can actually play your Xbox 360 games, not some, not most, all of your Xbox 360 games on there. That would be super. But, you know, what do I know? I'm just a random guy that spends lots of money on video games.
Yeah, we've
Yeah, it's not
obviously-
like our dollars matter or anything.
Oh no,
No,
That's-
no. Consumers with opinions? Whoa, now.
Yeah,
Calm
no,
down with
no.
that crazy
Fuck
shit.
these people, all right? Where's all them people who will buy and swallow anything we give them? Let's go over there.
Yeah, so
Judging by the rousing success of the PlayStation Vita, I, for one, cannot wait for the next Sony console. I'm sure.
I'm wondering what this new PlayStation Orbis is going to be. You know, I hope it doesn't look like a fucking George Foreman grill for the second generation going.
It's going to be powered by Nickelodeon GAC.
Oh God.
It
Remember
better fucking have ridges. That's all I'm saying.
You like?
Lots and lots of them.
Yeah, Rob gets a hard on for ridges.
I love them ridges, man.
Yeah.
Well,
Rob loves ridges.
you can now buy a PlayStation 3 with ridges. You can add it to your other PlayStation Ridge collection.
Oh,
Yeah,
man.
you call it
Spring
the-
Here's a good question though. With I mean, just with the specs that they have right now, what do you think that would come in price point wise?
Personally, me 600.
I think if they go anywhere over $400, they're gonna be in
Dead
trouble.
water.
Yeah, big time.
I'm just going off Sony's past exploits, so I'm saying 600.
I don't know, man. 600. There's such a backlash with the PS3 being 600. I don't think they can get away with that again.
No, I don't think they
The
could.
thing is, even like with these kind of specs that they have right now, I mean, they would they'd be swallowing so much by releasing it for like it. $400 would be a good price point for it for consumers and for them to be able to get the units out there.
Yeah.
But they'd be eating the cost so fucking hard. And I
Yeah.
mean, not that it really matters to me. I don't give a fuck what cost that they're eating. I just want a console so I can play my goddamn games on. But at the end of the day, you know, we've already talked extensively about the financial woes that they've been going through throughout all their different little
Endeavors.
business. Yeah, everything right now they're kind of struggling on. But with something like this, if they came out with a 600 price point again, they're gonna have another entire fucking auditorium of people just with the sound of crickets, and then just flashing their fucking like phones and everything at the dude on stage, going, "Oh shit, what do I say now? Are they gonna
Ridge
throw things?"
Racer!
Yeah, Ridge Racer, and then everybody's like, "That shit's old," and he's like, "Oh."
No,
I,
it isn't.
I'm bringing the meme back. Fuck all of you in the crowd. Put that pitchfork down. That don't mean shit to me. But I don't know, man. I can honestly say that I would see, if I would make an educated guess, I would see $500 as their go-to price point. If I still think it's too much, but I think that's the lowest that they could go without just coughing up fucking blood and hemorrhaging everywhere all over people's laps.
I can see
Very
that.
true.
I can see
Really get a
$500.
pool going for this.
We should get a pool going with this, should we?
We should get a pool going for that.
All
one,
right,
yeah.
who's taking the book?
Can we get takers?
Oh, you
got
know
the
what? What's kind of I didn't even fucking think about this. What's interesting is about all the fucking articles about this, and not one of them did they ever talk about the controller.
No, that's another thing I'm worried about.
So that's never been mentioned. So we don't know if they're gonna come out with like a wannabe Wii U controller. We don't know if they're gonna have like some kind of like crazy new shit. Because if you remember the first PlayStation 3 controller, dubbed as the Boomerang, because that's what it looked like. And it was ugly as fucking hell too.
Would you like to wager this thing's gonna look like a car stereo amplifier?
I can imagine it might look like one of those the old school Sony boom boxes with a gigantic speakers that explodes. I think that's what they call it.
Oh shit, yeah.
If they fucking get rid of Rumble again, they can kiss my ass. I'm fucking
you just want the Rumble for your Metal Gear Solid 1 options, don't you?
That's it, man.
There we go.
I gotta have it.
You can't live without it.
Well,
you know, with all this talk about the new consoles, you know what I really think? I say fuck these new consoles. Neo Geo X Gold, yo.
Too fucking right.
Represent.
Now,
Are you picking
no,
one
I'm
of
a
them
big
up,
fan of
Yellkaos?
you know, I'm thinking about it. I really don't know yet because it's already a bunch of shit I already have on my PC.
Yeah.
Yeah, but now you get to play on authentic SNK hardware.
No, you get to play on authentic Foxconn hardware with an SNK blessing.
Yes.
Just think, an entire SNK system, an entire Neo Geo system for the price of like one fucking SVS game back in the day and shit. I mean,
there you go.
That's ridiculous.
Still.
That's ridiculous. Still, and they're still expensive. And they
Oddly
are.
enough, that's one of the things. Like to me, it's expensive, but whenever like if you harken back, $700 console games that cost a couple $100 a piece, and then on top of that, like most of this shit, it was like not coming to the U.S., so importing, and then importing way back in the day. No, you had to know a guy who knew a guy who knew a lot of shady people, then imported it.
That was
and then
back,
you had to
that
go
was
through
back
it
of
and
the
everything.
magazine sort of
You
stuff.
had to order that shit by way of smoke signal.
Like, wait a minute, I can't wait. That's that is Fatal Fury. Cool. Yes, he wants Fatal Fury. Get that shit going.
Yep, $700.
Hey, tell Tim to order Fatal Fury. Is on the hilltop with a conch shell. And then 6 to 8 months later, it arrives.
And then all of a sudden, Buffalo just started stampeding down the hill, and it's like, wait, no, damn it, fuck!
Wait, was that this week?
No, I don't know, man. It's something, like I said with the Wii U, like I'm fucking broke, so I can't get one. And I look at this, and it's something that, the SNK fan in me wants desperately, because I think it'd be really cool, even if it's out of just pure novelty. And I've already said the first week, this bitch is going to be fucking hacked, and I could have all the games on it, and granted, I could do that on the PSP, but I could have it on an SNK machine. Look at that.
It's going to get raped. We all know it.
Yeah.
That thing's going to get
really
raped in both its slots, just like the Sega Mega Drive did.
Hey, you want to know what? It's a little fucking horror. If it didn't want to get raped in all of its holes, it wouldn't have included SD. That's all there is to it. It wouldn't have said a single thing about it.
It's got a mini USB on it as well, so it's got 2 holes.
Oh,
It's like anal and pinhole at the same
system
time.
is hacked before it even fucking comes out. It's fucking hacked.
Exactly. The SNK, you have sealed your doom with 3 words: secure digital card.
Yes, that's it.
Come on,
No,
that is the pirate's best friend. You've
It
aligned
does make
yourself
me-
with evil.
It does make me curious, like how well these units are gonna move, because it's a hard sell for younger kids. The only people who are gonna buy it are people like our ages or older. You know, and the only kids that are going to get it are the ones who are like obsessed with, trying to get into retro gaming or the hardcore collectors. And especially during a holiday season that we have right now, where you have a new console dropping and you have all these new games that have been coming out this month, all the new games that are coming out like the first 2 to 3 months after the holidays, when you got all those gift cards that you need to go and cash in. It's going to be fucking rough for that poor machine. It makes me feel kind of sad for it. Like, I want to.
It is going to be kind of rough because it is pointed at people like us, hardcore collectors in many aspects. But you have to think about it. Us hardcore collectors, quote unquote, people like us, we have nothing but time and negotiation room.
That's
Yeah.
it.
Which means, because it's going to be in all these stores, I can sit on my ass until about April or May, when the son of a bitch is going to be about $39.95.
And Alpha, you had a good point before the podcast, man. You said as long as it has those kick-ass fucking thumbsticks on it, it's a fucking sell. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well,
That's-
guess what?
that
It
analog
does.
stick is
It
sexy.
does. It does. It does have an analog stick exactly like the one on the Neo Geo Pocket Color. So
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
They're
That is
all
awesome.
Legitimately,
micro-switched.
people, if you've never gotten your hands on a Neo Geo Pocket Color to realize how fucking good that thing is, like, nobody's done portable analog sticks like those motherfuckers have. And this is like a little 8-bit handheld. And oh my god, it fucking bummed me out today because I went out and about and was looking, and they had the very exact Neo Geo Pocket Color I've been wanting the entire time, the camo one. And I was
Oh,
like,
man.
oh, I looked at it and I was just like, but I already have two. Buying a third one just makes me. I
You're a
can't do that.
collector. Do it.
Dude, here's the thing, like, legitimately, it's just I was Christmas shopping more so than anything, and I was like, I can't really drop the money on that. Just bought the new computer, and it's like, I want it, but eventually I'll ask for one, and hopefully Santa will deliver it into my fucking home. But regardless, now I am looking forward to this thing, but a price drop. Like, put this motherfucker at $100. You could definitely get me to buy it a lot faster. As it stands right now, it's hard on my wallet. I said hard on.
Hard
Yeah.
on. Yeah, but just before you get trolled to death by saying it was an 8-bit system, it was actually a 16-bit system.
Nah, man, those fucking graphics definitely looked 8-bit to me.
No, it's actually a 16-bit system.
I find that fucking surprising because, like, when I look at it, it just looks like a nicer Game Boy Color graphic scheme anytime that I see it.
Oh, it's fantastic. I love it. I love the look of it. I love the feel of it. I love some of the games on there. I miss having one. I used to have one years ago, and I sold it like an idiot.
Oh, dude, that's
You sold it for
Right now.
drugs.
No.
One of the best things that you can fucking get on there. It sounds kind of weird, but it's a fucking fighting game called Gal Fighters. I played the shit out of that, and that game's badass as fuck. Just has the SNK chicks all in one game, just clobbering the fuck out of each other. And was it the SNK versus Capcom? Was it Card Clash? I
Yeah,
can't
there was a
fucking remember
Card
the name.
Clash, and then there was a War of the Millennium or something like that.
Yeah, they had one for Capcom, then they had one for SNK. They had Dark Arms, which is part of the Beastbuster series, really good RPG, and severely overlooked. There's tons of good games on there. I would love to see those somehow make their way onto the little fucking Neo Geo X. That'd be pretty sweet.
Yeah.
I'd be damn happy.
Have you
Hell,
seen
put
this?
that shit anywhere?
Have you seen the size of the Neo Geo X Gold though? It's like the size of a PSP.
Really?
It's huge.
I find that really. I thought the thing was like. I thought it was like genuinely just seeing pictures. I thought it was like a little bit bigger than a Game Boy Micro. Every time I
it's
looked
a
at
lot
pictures,
bigger.
that's like the idea I got.
The screen's a similar size to a PSP screen.
Dude, that is fucking crazy.
That's
That actually
cool.
makes it cool.
Yeah. Plus, if you buy the thing, you get, if you pre-order it, you get a game cartridge, or a game card, with, what was it, Ninja Masters or something? As well as the preloaded 20 games that are already on the thing. As well as the charging base and the authentic joystick.
I do like the fact that you can hook it up and then play that shit on a TV, and everything's like all nice and crisp and happy. Even though I got MAME emulators out the ass that can do the same shit, but fuck you, I think this is cool.
Yep.
Totally it is.
Well,
And
only time will tell.
SNK makes really good hardware too, so that's another thing you're looking at. I mean, this system will probably fucking last forever, so
Well,
that's another thing. I mean, and depending on how much quantities they actually make of this system, we could be looking at a collector's item. And they might not
It
even
looks
make.
like there's going to be a lot of them. They seem to
think
be
so?
a lot of retail outlets.
Is it?
Yeah, I
Well, I
found that
understand, like,
fucking
every
crazy.
GameStop is getting them, which I don't understand. That's not
Dude,
even their demographic.
And Best Buy's going to get them, which fucking
Really?
threw me for a loop. I was just like, it was GameStop, Best Buy, and they had several other like large retailers, not just fucking chump change stores that you might find every so often, like big retailers, including online ones. I was like, holy fuck, I can't believe like all these stores are going to be carrying this because this is a niche item. And the idea that this is getting like it's going to be in stores everywhere, that's kind of surprising. So maybe it will do good, maybe.
I think it's going to
Yes.
do pretty well.
Good talk there. Good talk about the Neo Geo Gold, and we'll see how it turns out. And I hope it turns out in my favor. But anyway, you know what? We got to have a talk right here. You know, there's new rules, new restrictions, new things going on in the world. In the wake of the failed, what was the oh, it's escaping me now.
Copyright.
The copyright and piracy bill that went on the floor of Congress and didn't really make it, and so on. The one that they said that there was no way they could enforce anyway.
Yeah.
What was the name of that bill? Someone SOPA,
SOPA.
which is, as you know, means soup. And that's important to remember. Now, which is why we're going to talk about this a little bit, and we're going to go to Silent Rob, because Silent Rob brought this to my attention about piracy and the new 6-strike copyright warning system. Rob, what about it?
Yeah, apparently what they're doing is pretty much every fucking thing they've tried to do to stop piracy online has failed. So they're going to try this, which is also going to fail, because you can't stop. Any way you're going to try to stop it, there's always going to be a workaround. And this is another thing that's just going to piss people off. Basically, what they're doing is, depending on what service provider you have for internet, you're going to have like a 6-strike thing. So if, let's say they catch you downloading an illegal song or something, well, you'll get a strike. So you basically have 2 at-bats, and when you get 6 strikes, they can either limit your internet access or completely cut your internet off entirely. So, like, this immediately sounds like a bad idea, and they even discussed it in the article that I read, that there's chances of them fucking up, them actually disabling the wrong people's internet that didn't do anything wrong, because they did the same thing when they were suing people. When they were suing people that were already fucking dead. They were suing little fucking kids that weren't fucking doing nothing wrong. And out of the like 15,000 lawsuits that they did, only 2 ever went to court. So it's just it's just total fucking scare tactics that they're trying to do. And it's one of those things where it's just like, well, I guess now we have to find a workaround about this, because yeah, you can't stop internet piracy altogether. It's impossible. They're fighting a losing battle completely.
Might as well just make everything fucking open source and be done with it.
Exactly.
This is the only way we have to get even anyway.
I don't know. To me, I don't even think that they're trying to fucking white knight to the general public, but deep down inside, all this is the internet providers, like, you know, how are they going to know the difference of what the fuck we're downloading? Who exactly is going to be paying attention? That's the one thing you have to ask is, how do you know what I'm doing when I'm online? Does that mean that you have somebody watching everything?
Exactly.
And that right there means that you want control over what I'm doing. You want to listen in. You want to read about. You want to be the dude behind the curtain and try to restrict me. Motherfucker, I pay you to provide me with a service. If all of a sudden you're going to dictate what I do with said service, fuck you, fuck your service, fuck everybody that looks like you, fuck what you had for dinner, fuck the toilet you're going to dump it into. That ain't going to happen. Okay, I don't like that idea. No, that's all this is. That's what fucking SOPA was. That's what PIPA was.
Yeah.
And that's all that this is, again, is another fucking workaround, because these motherfuckers, you know, in Congress, they're getting their pockets lined by a bunch of corporate bigwigs that are fucking crying up a storm, and they're like, yeah, do what we say or else we're not going to give you the fucking funding that we've been providing you with for years and years and years. And you don't want that. You don't want us to take that fucking money away. Give up. Control, damn it. Control those little bastards. They don't mean shit. They make fucking minimum wage. Who are they? Well, there's a lot more of us and a lot less of them, and we're a lot fucking crazier in mass. I assure you 100%.
Exactly. The only thing this is going to end up doing is harming people that ain't fucking doing anything wrong.
Well, well, it's also going to end up ruining the public relations scheme and relations between any of the major internet service providers. Name me one internet service provider that's got the brass balls to tell their entire audience to fuck off.
Exactly.
Mm.
Exactly.
You know, there's no way this can be, enforced. I mean, it might work in principle, but prohibition also worked in principle. We saw how well that went over.
Yeah, there's
Well,
still people getting
it's like
pissed.
yeah, oh yeah. That's like when they're trying to dictate, like when the YouTube video got out with Muhammad and all this shit that these government officials were like trying to dictate, like, oh, we need to edit, we need to make sure like all these YouTube videos don't have offensive material in them. It's like motherfuckers, it's impossible to regulate every single YouTube video that comes on there, and YouTube even told them that it's a total impossibility. It's basically people that do not understand how the internet works trying to dictate how you use the internet. That's basically
like the people who also insist that you try and get things off the internet. It's like you might as well try and get pee out of a pool.
Yeah, exactly.
I like that analogy.
I like that. That's perfect. That's perfect.
But it's completely unwarranted, and like Rob said, it's fucking scare tactics. It's nothing more. It is them trying to throw their weight around, and it might work on paper, but you know what? Jaywalking is illegal on paper, and if you've ever been driving, I find that the smallest ones are worth about 1,000 points, but that's another story for another time.
Armageddon.
Yeah.
Armageddon.
Yeah, there you go, baby. That's how you do it. Anyway,
Armageddon.
it's Armageddon, and it's time for
Carmageddon.
halftime.
We said Carmageddon.
Carmageddon, whatever, man, whatever. Just run over small people. That's my advice to you.
Yeah, but then
you guys got the left-hand shift, so it's even more exciting.
we won't have the Oompa Loompas or the R2D2 people.
The R2D2 people. You know what?
Yeah.
Is that like a new kind of special interest group?
I think they prefer little people or something like that.
I say
Leave us alone.
fidgets. Just call them fidgets. Fucking midgets. Yeah.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
But anyway, we welcome you to halftime. And halftime is where we stand up and we take a stretch. You guys can't see it, but fuck you, we're going to do it anyway. And relax for just a minute as we get ready for the 8-Bit Ball Bag. Now, the 8-Bit Ball Bag this week, brought to you by 976 8-Bit. Because,
What?
so please give us a call at 976 8-Bit, and all your wildest dreams will come true, I assure you. See, this is not working for you, SaintedMagnus, because you don't have 976 over across
No, we
the
have
pond.
090 numbers.
No, but yeah, but see,
Anything
here's
with 09 in it costs you about 15 quid.
oh, see, then you know all about it. So, and you can also reach us in Britain at 09 8-Bit. So,
09, oh no.
09, oh no. Anyway, the 8-Bit Ball Bag this week, as I said, was already brought to us by 976 8-Bit and by Angry Beard Magazine, and we thank them. Which I should neglect to mention, they have a news spread every month, and their monthly centerfold is actually Silent Rob's former beard on a linoleum floor. It's a great thing. It's a great pull-out magazine. Frame it, put it on your wall. It's good stuff. You know what? As a matter of fact, if you get this month's copy of Angry Beard Magazine and go ahead and get that poster out, mail it to Silent Rob, and he'll sign it for you. And you can, I think you get what Silent Rob, if I'm not mistaken, anything you put on the auctions goes for like millions of dollars, right?
It's crazy, man. Like I said, I mean, if I had known that, I would have put my beard up on eBay, man. Fucking.
I know. You gotta grow one, man. You gotta grow it back, and then we'll try it again.
That's it, man. I got a little homeless person stubble growing back in here, so it's coming.
There you go. There you go. And then you could be like that one magnetic game, the Hobo Fred, whatever thing.
Oh God.
It'll be great. You have a good time with it. Anyway, we got some mail right here in the 8-Bit Ball Bag. And please drop us a line at 8bitpodcast@gmail.com. If you have a question, a comment, concern, anything like that, please let us know. We'll be glad to oblige you. Anyway, but here I go plugging Gmail when we got a piece of mail coming to us at our inbox at youtube.com. And it comes from Super Norst Show. And he says, "Dear badass metalheads." Yes?
Yes.
All right. He says, "I would like to hear your opinions on GameStop's new line of stores that offer only quote-unquote kid-friendly games. I believe it's just another attempt by GameStop to lure kids in. I believe they intend to screw little kids over on trade-in games even more than they do now, since they do not understand the value of money." This is getting pretty deep. Having colorful, child-friendly looking stores may just encourage more parents to let their kids go to the counter and buy/trade games. Just out of curiosity, I wonder what ratings games will have to qualify to get into GameStop Kids. E for sure, but what about T? Thanks for being a badass team of motherfuckers. Well, we only fuck your mother, Super Norse, but we thank you for dropping us a line. Now, I heard a little bit about this, and our good friends Admiral OmegaSin and Silent Rob had a bit to say about it, but I mean, really? I mean, is this where gaming is going? I mean, I
Yeah.
don't understand because if I'm not mistaken, Toys R Us is losing their ass, and it seems like GameStop is trying to just put out a whole bunch of little Toys R Us units. Am I mistaken?
Seems that way by what
Yeah,
I can
that
see.
that's yeah, that pretty much sums it up. That's what I was talking about in my video. It's just
Yeah.
and kind of like what it touched upon in the actual mail letter that he sent you, like talking about just basically robbing kids. You know, like coming from a person that worked at GameStop, the last place that you want to fucking bring your kids is a GameStop. Okay, because that's the number one priority for GameStop is screwing little kids over. And you give a little kid 25 cents for a game, they're like, oh, 25 cents. They don't fucking know what 25 cents is. And they sure as hell don't realize they can't get nothing in the store for 25 cents. And they said in the article that I read that they're focusing on games like Hello Kitty and Angry Birds and shit because that's what the kids want to play, right? Angry Birds and fucking.
If they wanted
Yeah,
Angry Birds, they'd buy
Here's
it
the
on a
thing:
fucking
kids
Android
don't
phone.
buy games like that.
They
Okay,
don't.
relatives who don't really like the kids buy games like that.
Exactly.
Right, my
Don't get
my
me wrong.
neighbour's kids, right? My neighbour's kids are like what 8 and 10, right? And they don't want to play Hello Kitty and fucking Angry Birds or whatever they want to call them.
No,
They
wanna
want
play
they want
Call
to
of
they
Duty
want to
or-
they want to play Call of Duty. They want to play Resident Evil. They want to play all these mainstream titles that they fucking plug everywhere. They're in newspapers, on the TV, they're everywhere. So they're gonna want to play them. Like, these kiddie stores sound like such a bad fucking idea, in my opinion. But
Mm-hmm.
good job they're not coming out over here. Watch this, I'd say that, and we'll get an
It's
article
just
next week
not
saying
yet
they're
there.
coming to the UK. Oh, for
Yeah,
fuck's sake.
they don't have any plans for it. But I wanna ask Silent Rob. Silent Rob, I saw a little bit of your video. I didn't get to catch all of it because, well, let's face it, the internet sucks around here. But I'm sure you knew that. But I gotta ask you, don't you think this is one more link in the chain, one more piece of evidence that that Nintendo, what am I talking about? That GameStop is really not paying attention.
Oh, I totally agree, man. I totally agree.
It shows how out of step they really are. The retail market is failing, so what do? They add more retail stores.
Yeah, they don't want to shape up their current business. They
No,
don't
they
want
don't
to make
fix that. Fuck that noise.
yeah, fuck that noise. They don't want to make their current stores appeal to kids. They don't want to actually, give kids what they deserve, for their games and actually cater to kids whatsoever. What they want to do, now they want to make these separate stores. And like I was saying in my other video, what are they going to have? GameStop Kids, GameStop Geriatric for the old fucks here. Fucking, you can go on and on with this fucking shit, man. You're gonna start having stores for individual things. You're making more business for yourselves. You're not doing anything except trying to expand what you could already be doing with your current stores.
And it seems like they're just trying to make more bills.
Yeah, exactly. More bills. That's
And that's the way that it appears to me. And I just don't understand. I mean, if they really wanted to make their current stores, they could save millions right now and just make all their current stores more appealing to young kids. And there is an invention that will do it. It's called a Glade plug-in. If you do something about the balls and cheese and old beer and feet smell that commonly come out of GameStop locations, you can knock out that problem right away. It'll cost you what? $10,000 to do 10,000 stores? I don't know, maybe I'm crazy or something.
Oh,
Because
You're
you
on
cruise into a
something, man.
GameStop nowadays, you cruise into a GameStop, and what are they doing? They're just throwing things in the fucking trash now. What do they need another store for?
Exactly, man. That'll be the next store, GameStop Trash. They'll sell all the fucking shit in the fucking garbage cans.
Yeah, and then they'll make all their money back by suing people who have been jumping in their dumpsters.
Yeah, there you go, man.
I'm not gonna say who, but there's some people on YouTube that I understand make some pretty good use of that sort of thing.
well, I don't
Oh, man.
understand that. I don't understand why they jump in bins.
Well, I mean, it's free. Well, it's not free. I mean, there might be a law against it depending on where you are.
It's gonna be
Well,
like
let
a
me tell
fucking
you, dude,
disease
like,
coming out of there as well, for fuck's sake.
Oh, well, it happens.
when I used to work at GameStop, they throw away some good shit, man. You'd be surprised. I mean,
Oh,
there's
you know, I've seen.
I was gonna say there's a lot of times like a game would get pennied out where we couldn't actually sell it anymore, and we're supposed to throw it away. So like my copy of Bad Day LA, regardless of whether or not the game's a piece of shit, they wanted us just to throw it in the garbage can. Just take the game, throw it in the garbage.
Were you allowed
Standees,
to
throw
bring
them
them
out. Oh, I bring them home every time.
Okay.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, see, you're a beautiful person, Rob, and you know what? You're a defender of the faith, and we thank you.
Oh, I try. Thank you.
Yeah, but you know what? One thing I have to say though is fuck that company. Who cares?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Um,
Exactly.
All right, hey, dig this. Finally we have a piece of mail coming to us at hatebitpodcast@gmail.com. And it comes to
Yay!
us from Jamal Reynolds, and Jamal says, "Hello, Masters of Hate."
Hello.
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 He says, as you may or may not know, an Evil Dead remake is being made. I feel that there is no need in hell for this remake. What are your feelings on this? He says, he also finds it to be a great classic movie. I want to say this before we have this talk, because I know AlphaOmegaSin he's got a lot to say. I know he loves this movie, but I do not understand the popularity of these movies. They're okay. Anyway, AlphaOmegaSin, your feelings on the remake of Evil Dead?
Oh man.
Because there's already a remake in the series, just so you know.
To begin with, this is just add to a fucking mountain of remakes that have been coming out within the past couple years, and already to a mountain of other movies that I like a lot. Like hearing about a remake to The Crow and hearing about a remake to Escape from New York, then hearing about a remake to this just made me want to explode. Well, then I was told that Sam Raimi and Bruce Campbell were going to have something to do with the making of the movie. Now, that calmed me a little bit, but I'm one of those people of I need proof of whether or not this is going to be a decent product. And keep in mind, if you haven't seen the first Evil Dead, it's kind of hard to describe, but it's goofy and it's horror and it's gory. It's just a fucked up amount of stuff put together, but they did it just right. But it's mostly because they had such a strong lead character as Bruce Campbell playing Ash that helped make the movie the success that it was and a cult classic. Well, you now have a remake that doesn't look like it's going with the goofy parts of it, unless they're just kind of hidden away, because the trailer that they showed off is just very dark, very gloomy, and filled to the brim with fucking scares and gore. I thought the trailer looked a lot better than what I was expecting, and that's really the truth. Will it be good? I don't know, because I honestly can't tell what approach they're going to take. I'm going to go see it because I'm curious. It piqued my interest enough to say it warrants a look, most definitely. I'm not going to download it or anything. I'll actually go out to the theater and watch it, but it's just one of those time will tell things.
I totally agree, man. I mean, I'm a huge Evil Dead fan. You'll even see me in a lot of my videos wearing my Evil Dead shirt, with all the Necronomicon shit on the back of it, and especially Evil Dead 2 and Army of Darkness. Evil Dead 2 especially is one of my favorite movies, but I was kind of against the whole thing. But yeah, I saw that Red Band trailer they released, and it actually looked pretty good. Like it has her like her hand getting possessed, and she's cutting it off with a chainsaw. I was like, all right, they're on the right track here. They're doing some stuff, but like Alpha said, it really looks like they're going for more of the horror element of the series. And my favorite parts of the Evil Dead movies are the funny scenes, like him saying groovy, the one-liners, the fucking craziness and shit. I don't think it's gonna have any of that. But yeah, after seeing the trailer, I'm interested now. I'm interested in it.
You know what has me kind of curious about the entire thing, though, and for anybody who hasn't seen the movies, I don't know, skip ahead by like a minute. I don't understand why the trailer contains elements from the first two movies, if this is just called Evil Dead, because that's what confuses me about it. Silent Rob brought up the entire thing with the hand getting possessed. That's from the second movie. That's not in the first one whatsoever.
Yeah.
That's the thing that had me really fucking confused about this entire thing. I thought it looked really cool. I thought it was done really well, especially the budget that they have for the special effects.
Yeah.
I like the campy look of the older movies. Actually, I prefer that in a lot of ways, but it makes me wonder what direction that they're going with. But again, they did such a fucking bang up job with the trailer. Even if you're against it, it's one of those things of, what, this actually looks kind of cool. I'll check it out. At the very least, check it out. So you got two people saying it looks good enough to at least watch.
Oh, here's a third person that's going to say his piece. I thought the trailer was pretty well done. Like, you watch the original Evil Dead, yes, it feels like it's a proper horror movie, but there is, though, as we mentioned before, that it's got those comedy elements. It was only when the comedy was more put forward in the second and third films that I really, really enjoyed the series. Now, to see a remake of the series now, it's going to be interesting, to see whether they're going to try and stay faithful to the original formula and work with the old characters and give Ash a new face and effect. It's going to be like Doctor Who of horror films, isn't it, at this rate?
Yeah.
But I think people should give it a chance. The trailer was done really, really well. It wasn't like most remake trailers were like, yeah, this is what we're doing. We're making a remake. Oh yeah, it's Evil Dead. And we don't want it like it wasn't done like that. It was done you could see that there was some passion and some care and attention put to that trailer. So I'm excited for it. I'm going to give it the chance.
I think that the biggest issue that a lot of the fans are having with it, beyond the fact that it's lacking Bruce Campbell like in a leading role in it, is the fact that we've had so many fucking like mindless and lazy fucking cash-in remakes recently. And this being added to the pile just adds fuel to a fire that just isn't going away whatsoever. It just keeps growing. And I've seen some remakes that were actually good. I'm not saying all of them are good. Most of them are fucking crap. But, for instance, like The Blob. The Blob remake is fucking amazing. The Fly.
Excellent.
The Fly was fucking amazing. If you saw the original and then saw that, amazing. The Night of the Living Dead remake. I still can honestly say it's a big toss-up, but I like the remake of that one a whole bunch too. And that had fucking George Romero overseeing the entire thing. That's, those are just examples of it can work. Does it always work? No. But in an instance like this, it possibly could. We will have a Evil Dead potentially for a new generation because fact is Bruce Campbell's too fucking old to be Ash, and that sucks.
Yeah, that does suck. Well, I'm trying to think of another. Dawn of the Dead, the remake was pretty good. Fucking what else was good? I'm trying to think. Dawn of the Dead was good. Oh, Hills Have Eyes, that was a pretty good remake.
Yeah, I didn't even think about that one.
Yeah, that one was pretty good. So they can do it. It is possible. They can pull it off. But yeah, it's going to be interesting. Like Alpha said, it has elements of both movies. It has like the tree rape from the first movie. It has the arm cutting off in the second movie. So it's like, where are they going with it? So I am definitely interested in this movie. So we'll see. We'll see.
Well, I'm glad to know that I'm alone in the room.
I honestly don't think I've ever talked to somebody that actually just did not like them at all. I think you might be the first one.
It's not that I don't like them. I just don't see them as classic.
Yeah.
But I am one of the few people, a buddy of mine, we actually had a theory. We would love to see Drag Me to Hell and Evil Dead crash together somehow. No one knows what the fuck I'm talking about. I love that.
I saw Drag Me to Hell. I didn't like it. That's why.
Oh, I thought it was great. Old ladies chewing on your face.
Yeah, that movie was crazy.
It was a good drive-in movie. Saw it in the drive-in. Anyway, we got more mail here. We got mail here at Hate Bit Podcast on YouTube, and this next piece of mail comes to us from YouTube user Nocturnal Curves.
Ooh.
Nocturnal Curves. Her subject line says, "Fat booty hoes." She says, "Hey guys."
Hey.
She says, "I really enjoy the podcast and all of the videos on your separate channels. So keep up the good work." Well, thank you.
Yeah.
You're calling this good work? Oh, man.
I know. My God, lady, have you got the bar set low? Anyway, she says, "I'm wondering if there is a metal band or album that everybody seems to worship but you cannot stand. For example, I cannot listen to Merciful Fate / King Diamond, and I've been chased from my city by angry mobs as a result." Nocturnal Curves. Well, and justly so. I'm surprised they weren't shooting at you, as a matter of fact. I'm going to say for myself a band that I'm sick and tired of hearing how great they are because they're not, and that band is called Carcass. They come from Britain and Sweden and so on and so forth. And that's one band that I just think gets way too much love. AlphaOmegaSin, you know,
I just started fucking scraping the top of my brain. I didn't get too deep. So I'll just be a lame ass and go with the Cop Out, the Black Album. I don't get
Oh,
it.
that's exactly what I was gonna say,
Because
man.
legitimately, and I'm just being honest here. It's that album. I got sick of it when I was a kid.
Yeah, same here.
Okay, and I'm 28 now. I'm most certainly sick of the fucking album. Okay, I assure you 100%. It's not a. I don't like the fact that people call it a thrash album. So
man, not even
that bothers
close.
me even more deep down inside. But yeah, it's one of. I'm sure that there's others. It's just I didn't get the poke and prod inside the further recesses of
well, I
my
will
head.
say this. I want to say this about the Black Album. The Black Album is an okay album if you slice off all the radio tracks.
I don't know, man. I seriously think that it's one of those cases of I heard it to death. Every song to death all the
Yep.
fucking time. And
You must listen to rock radio.
well,
you
no,
wanna
it's just like
talk about-
because of the people that were around me. But then comparing it to like their first three albums, no, that album's silly by comparison.
Well, you want to talk about a band selling out, an album where a band sold out. That's the fucking album. That is the blueprint for selling out. Is the fucking Black Album. I mean, that's how you fucking do it. I mean, you talk about this. It got to the point, like Alpha said, where I was a kid, and I'm like, if I hear Enter Sandman one more time, I'm gonna fucking kill somebody. I'm gonna kill somebody.
I love the people that are like, I'm a Metallica fan. What's your favorite song? Enter the Sandman. And they say it just like that. And I'm just like, okie dokie. I'm going to go wash my face with battery acid and get this over with.
Exactly, dude.
You-
That's mine. We got 2 votes for the Black Album here.
I'm gonna go with the entire fucking back catalogue and forward catalogue and anything else they could fucking do in the future of Cradle of Filth. I fucking hate Cradle of Filth in every fibre of my fucking British being. Hate fucking prick Danny Filth. Everything he stands for, everything he fucking does, says, breathes. Oh, I just hate the cunt. He is a cunt. I fucking cunt. I hate.
Just want to step on his face.
He's got a big enough fucking face to step on, I tell you. He looks like a gothic.
You could
Mr.
dry your
Potato.
feet on that motherfucker.
He's like a gothic Mr. Potato Head. Fucking hate the guy. And I have one justified reason why. Because I used to rent a flat with a few friends, and every one of them was Cradle of Filth fans, and they used to have radio wars, as I called it, where they put in the favourite Cradle of Filth album in, jack up the volume to the top, and blast it throughout the entire
And
house.
then they just masturbate furiously on the fucking sofa, wouldn't they?
Near enough, yeah. And then
Yeah,
they,
set themselves
they,
on fire with
they won't
razor
make me
blade.
laugh. This is what made me laugh. They all dressed up exactly like Danny Filth at the, from what he was wearing at the time. Many times I just put my headphones in and blast the Prodigy out. Good job I had bigger speakers than they did.
Well, there you go. You came prepared, and that's what's important.
And with you saying Cradle of Filth, that does fucking remind me. In my younger years, I actually listened to them, especially the album Midian. I'm a different metalhead now, but yeah, there's one album of theirs that people just somehow just kept on mentioning over and over and over and over and over and over, and that's Nymphetamine. And I don't see how the fuck anybody can really like that. And let me just spell this out for everybody out there. Cradle of Filth is not black metal. Please understand that they are not black metal. Quit assuming and saying that they are black metal, because they are not. And Amphetamine is a fucking abortion on a stick, deep fried and served up Southern style. Okay?
Southern style.
It is not that great. Quit saying that it is. It's fucking annoying. And I would shit on the chest of Danny Filth, but the problem is he would tip me for it, so he wouldn't fucking deserve it. Fuck him. I agree with Sainted.
I just want to kick his teeth in. Many times over.
Well, that's good that
I
you
don't
have
like
such
him
a-
because he's an asshole. Whenever he fucking came to Pittsburgh, he mouthed off and fucking like actually like said a lot of really ignorant shit to people for no reason. That were just like, "Oh, hey, Danny," and he just was a complete asshole to everybody, to fucking rock star mentality. And from that point forward, I was just like, "Wow, you are a fucking cockbag. I don't like that."
Well,
Fuck, there's
apparently he's Welsh, so that's another fucking black mark in his book.
Oh God, more European racism.
Yeah, it's great.
there goes our Welsh fans.
Oh.
I know. Thanks, Dick.
It's all right. The Welsh hate the English anyway.
I know you're gonna keep saying shit. And they're gonna be talking about the Geordies next, and then we're gonna have a fucking holy war or something.
Oh, it's all right. I'm not going to start on the Irish because I have Irish blood in me. So
Oh,
they're
good
safe,
God.
and the Scots.
Yeah, don't start on the Irish. I'm Irish.
I know that's
That's
what-
pretty much
Yeah.
all I am is Irish.
I'm Irish descent,
you know-
so don't worry about it.
That's
Yay!
good. That's good. There you go. That's all the racism we have left for the Hate Bit Ball Bag. But we'll be back next week with even more racism right here on YouTube. Anyway, got to get to the second half of the show. And it's time. You guys have been waiting. I've been waiting. It's a big thing around here. The video game circle jerk. That's where we talk about the video games that have passed through our systems and into our slots more than once or twice over the last however long. So please sit back and get yourself a drink, light one up, because it's time to circle jerk. And Rob, since you're not with us all the time, why don't you get us started? What have you been putting in your slots?
Oh, many things.
He likes a
One of
slap.
which, I've been playing Doom 3 BFG, man. I've been having a fucking blast with it. Like I didn't have a PC that could even remotely. You put Doom 3 in my PC back in the day when it was released, my PC just would have fucking exploded. There would have been no playing Doom 3 back in the day for me.
Actually, it would have imploded.
It would have imploded, exactly. And so the only experience I ever had with Doom 3 was the pretty much hacked up port on the Xbox, which you don't really realize it until you play the PC version and you play this new BFG version, how much was left out of the Xbox version of Doom 3. And Doom 3 is one of those love it or hate it games too. Like people, that's it. There's no liking Doom 3. Like people either just fucking love it or they despise it. I love it. I really do. I think it's got great atmosphere. The shooting, it feels like Doom, but it just feels more atmospheric. I don't really know why people have such problems with the series. You know,
It
people
bordered
complain.
on survival horror.
It really did.
Almost
Well,
did, yeah.
you know, people bitch and complain that games come out and they're the same over and over again. But then Doom 3 tries to come up and kind of shake it up a little bit, and everybody's like, "Oh, fuck this! It should have been Doom 2 again." And it's like, what the fuck? So now with Doom 4, they're going back to like the Doom 2 route, more actiony and arcadey and stuff like that. And it's like, well, you know, there goes all the Doom 3 fans. I guess we're never going to see that again because everybody bitching and complaining. But you know, I'm having a really good time with it. The PS3 port's kind of shitty though. Had it freeze a few times. It's got some frame rate problems, as pretty much all PS3 fucking ports of multi-plat games go. But you know, kind of dealing with it. But yeah, I'm having a blast with it, loving it.
Anything else?
That's it. That's all I've been playing. I finished Doom. I finished Doom 1 on Ultra Violence. I finished Doom 3 on the hardest difficulty, and now I'm working on Doom 2. So it's
Awesome.
awesome. You know?
See, that's fucking hardcore right there, folks.
That's fucking bitching. That really is bitching. It's awesome.
Hell yeah, man.
Who's next? Who's next? Who's next? Who's next to throw the load into the mix?
Well, I guess I'll throw my load right on there, just right on your face, as they say in Game
Well,
Face
don't-
magazine.
Don't put it on my face. Put it on your.
No, not on your face. No. I'll put it on the face of someone who can appreciate it. All right, man.
Okay then.
Yeah.
You
So
keep
Jim
your-
Sterling, he and I were hanging out the other day. And,
I like how this is starting.
yeah, I know. No, for me, SaintedMagnus, you and I were having a discussion a couple of weeks ago about this, but I bought a new piece of hardware.
Ooh.
I am the last dumb fuck on the planet to buy a Nintendo DSi XL. I am the last guy. I went into Sears and bought like the last one they had, and I think the guys actually were laughing as I walked away, but bought it, and I'm very thrilled with it. And I've been playing a bunch of the DSiWare titles because I feel that's what I've been missing out by not owning a Nintendo DSi. And there's some great games on there. And if you have the means, go ahead and get yourself one. Get a DSi and try some of the DSiWare. I recommend Aura Climber. They're simpler games, but it's a lot of fun. I recommend it highly. SaintedMagnus, what have you been playing, man?
Well, I'm gonna continue lighting the torch for Doom 3 BFG edition because I've been playing quite a bit of that myself.
Oh, yeah.
One of my favourite things about it is the fact that it's got every add-on pack for each game, that was released. That's one thing you didn't mention. Doom 1 has got a hell of a lot of content on there.
Oh, fuck yeah.
The Doom 2 and Doom 3 ports, well, Doom 1 and Doom 2 ports are all high-res graphics, which are really nice. Yeah, you still get the pixelation and stuff like that on these character sprites, but that adds to the nostalgia of playing that game.
Yeah.
Then you got
Even
Doom
with Doom
3.
2, you get the expansion that was only like for the Xbox when it came out on the Xbox. So you even get that full campaign that they added.
Exactly.
In.
Exactly. This is the most complete collection of Doom games I've seen ever. Now, I said this on my pickup video, shameless plug, that this is one of the best sets out there, and if you're going to get it on the PC. It's what?
Yeah.
$20. It's dirt cheap on the PC. Get it through Steam. You'll get a hell of a lot of content, and it's very different. Each game feels different.
It is, man. I mean, the only games it's really missing, it's missing Final Doom, but that game is so fucking hard, it's ridiculous. So I can do without Final Doom. The only one that I wish it had Doom 64, but that game wasn't really made by id, so I guess I can understand why they didn't put that on there. But
it's
still
such
a good
game,
game,
though.
Such a good game, man.
Yeah, and Doom 3 on a 40-inch TV, I would have thought it would have looked horrible. Actually, it looks pretty damn good. Another game I've just recently got my mitts on, and that was Ghost Recon Future Soldier. That's giving me my my God of War Gears of War fix at the moment, because it's basically a cover-to-cover shooter with very good stealth elements, actually, because you've got like your active stealth camo and stuff like that. One of my favourite things on there at the moment was called the Warhound, where it's basically a mobile mortar gun on a rope on legs, and it goes around and you select to use it, and you target the soldiers that you're shooting at, or tanks or vehicles, and you just shoot mortars at them, or you can use guided rockets. That's pretty cool. And finally, I have been playing a lot of Pokemon Black version 2 on the DS, and it is actually one of the better Pokemon games out there. It still is a mid-title like, Emerald and Platinum, but it's still a good little game to have. At least you've got 300 Pokemon to start you off with before you get the National Pokédex, so you've got more of a choice to tailor your team to your own playing style, which is all pretty good. But I must admit, I've played one or two online matches on there, and there is a lot of people that need to get a life. Because the teams are so fucking perfect, it's unbelievable. So look, that's my contribution to the Circle Jerk. Alpha, your turn.
Oh boy, I get to go and finish it off sloppy last.
Yeah.
By all means, that means I get to light it on fire at the end.
Yeah.
So
This guy knows how to party.
that's the only way I know how to party. It's like a Viking funeral, except for with semen. So, things that I have been playing recently, besides the skin flute apparently. I have been fucking about with a bunch of Sega Genesis and Sega CD games recently, just for the sheer fuck of it. I was actually talking earlier, I got my hands on Dragon's Fury, which most people know it as Devil's Crush on TurboGrafx 16, and has one of the very, very best video game soundtracks, and in my humble opinion, is the best video game, pinball game ever created. It's just fucking amazing and awesome in every way.
Totally agree.
And it also has the really epic, awesome cover art that looks like those fantasy novels. Beyond that, have been playing. Let's see, I played Batman Returns on Sega CD. That beat the fuck out of me because I didn't get to play that too often. Those driving sections are rough shit. But let's see. Other than that, I played The Amazing Spider-Man, The Kingpin on Sega CD. That game is boring as fuck. Holy shit. I could not believe how fucking boring it was. All I did was fucking nut punch everybody. I was like, web, nut punch, web, nut punch. Then I was crawling around on walls, bored, and I got to an exit, and then it's like, all right, you're on the world map. All right, now where are you going? And you do the same thing. It's like, It's the most boring shit ever. I was like, dude, fuck this. Launch that shit out of my fucking CDX. I was like, let's get this party really going. Ghouls and motherfucking ghosts. And yes, I know everybody's like ghosts and goblins, but on Genesis, it's ghouls and ghosts. Oh my god.
I think it's 16-bit era it was called Ghouls and Ghosts because it was Super Ghouls and Ghosts on the Super Nintendo, if memory serves.
Is it? I guess.
Well, it's on the NES, it's Ghosts and Goblins. Then there was Ghouls and Ghosts, and then there was Super Ghouls and Ghosts.
Okay, well,
Yeah.
regardless, I
Awesome.
forgot why it just fucking. Oh my god, the first stage not that bad. It's as soon as you hit the second stage. It is like having Rocky Balboa stuck inside of your boxers and using your nutsack as a fucking punching bag. That's how I felt the entire time. I was just like, stop it! I don't have Russian testicles. This isn't right. That's not Mr. T. And I just relentlessly getting the shit kicked out of me. So I tried again and again and again. Naturally, I didn't end up beating the game. I got a little bit further, but still. And what did I decide to go and wash everything down with? Well, of course, Battletoads on Sega Genesis.
Oh, you
My
poor.
God.
So this is another game that I've just never beaten because I just can't. I try. It's not like, you know, I'm fucking like inept all of a sudden in fucking like video game skill. It's just a relentlessly hard game. So I
Yeah.
sat down and then I got to the speeder bike stage and then rape. All sorts of rape and 16-bit glory. And I was tearing it up, and it's weird because I haven't played in a long time, and I was owning face. Everybody was just like, wow, look at him go, look at him up. He's not up, game over. Okay, that's awesome. I was like,
you can imagine that game getting even more ridiculously difficult after the speeder bike stage, man. It fucking happens. It is ridiculous.
That's what I got to find out. Like, my friend was just like, dude, it just gets so much worse. And I was just like, I just want to get past it so I could be like, haha. Oh, and after that, because my one buddy was down, I got to go through the entire Double Dragon Neon campaign in co-op. So it wasn't just one player this time, and it was a lot of fun playing in 2-player. But I love that game. And again, people, please play that game. And if you get bored, just look at the IGN review for it and swear up and down that dude should be fucking crucified over a fucking volcano for saying the stupid fucking bullshit that he did.
The soundtrack alone is worth more than the score he fucking gave that game.
Yeah, that's the thing. It just blew my fucking mind. Like, and for all of you out there that are listening right now, I know one of you have come across that one fucking instance where you went to a fucking major website or fucking watched something that the person that was reviewing it was not only not a fan of the genre or the franchise, but should not be reviewing something because they already went into it with a fucking bias. This dude mocked all things fucking beat 'em up related. And the fucking genre, he said, he was just like, oh yeah, the old Double Dragon's really not all that great, and this one is just real stuck in 80s, and like the fucking voice acting's terrible. No shit, it's supposed to be corny. That was the fucking point. When you have to explain the joke to somebody that doesn't get it, then they complain about the joke, that's when you just fucking stab them in the mouth with it.
Yeah, exactly. How you gonna complain that a character named Skullmageddon doesn't have good voice acting?
And he sounds just like this. He comes out and he's like, I'm Skullmageddon! You will face my wrath! It's like, dude, if you thought for a second that they hired some dude to come in and say that, and he was like, well, I was going for, like, an award for fucking voice acting here. Like, I want to be the next Mark Hamill and shit. What? Like, it just blew my mind. The game is fucking awesome, and it's one of those things, like, if you're into, like, 2D fighters, like Street Fighter and shit, you could pick up on a game like this and tell how deep of a battle system it has. It's really good, a ton of fun, real badass in 2-player. Cross my fingers and hoping that the Battletoads characters show up as DLC like it's rumored. And yeah, so I've just playing tons of old school goodness, with the exception of Double Dragon Neon, but that's a throwback. So
So
yeah,
you're getting battered by 16-bit goodness. That's all.
Dude, I don't know. I swear it was just like after I started getting my ass kicked in one game, I was just like, nah, that's not enough. Like I also became like masochistic in gaming and shit. I was like, no, let's ramp this motherfucker up. You know, it wasn't like I got Contra Hard Corps out because I don't own the game, unfortunately. But if I busted that out, then I'd probably just be on the ground, curled up into a fucking ball in a fetal position, crying my eyes out, going, I'll never beat that game. So it was, and then just I don't know, play Dark Souls and Demon Souls back to back, and just
Oh, you are a glutton for punishment if you're playing them
dude,
back to back.
sometimes, man, it's just you know, I could toss in Devil May Cry 3 and put in Dante Must Die mode and just laugh my ass off as I never get through the game ever.
I'd also like to point out he did this during a fucking hurricane.
Yeah.
Hey man, when you have nothing else better to do than sit the fuck inside, it's just like I think I'll just do all this shit.
And it's like, if I'm gonna hurt this bad, I'm gonna do it to myself.
And don't forget,
Absolutely.
it got declassified. It got changed to a Superstorm.
Right,
Dude,
well, yeah,
legitimately, like the worst things that fucking happened over here. Like I was expecting like this shit to fucking tear stuff apart, you know. And people had like a couple funny pictures. Like they had a fucking potted plant that fell over, and it was like Hurricane Sandy. Never forget. I was laughing my ass off. I was like, that shit's awesome. Because around here, the worst thing that we had was a couple power outages, and that happens with fucking thunderstorms. So I wasn't all that surprised. The winds were kind of picking up, so. You know, you might have seen somebody's hair get blown around a bit. You're like, oh shit, lordy, we're done, I tell you.
I would have loved to see a picture of your hair all over the show. That would have been funny.
Oh, dude, you know what? I just put my fucking hood up and my hair can't go anywhere. So,
Damn it.
But it wasn't super bad. But I stayed inside because it was fucking cold as shit, and it's windy and it's raining. I was like, no, this fucking weather is fucking ass cheeks. I'm not dealing with this. So, yeah.
and we're glad to know you're okay.
Yeah.
And I do appreciate fucking Yellkaos was just like, yeah, giving a little shout out to Mr. AlphaOmegaSin. Yeah, I'll go with that. But yeah, it wasn't that bad, folks.
Oh, that's
no, we're
okay,
glad,
then.
and you know, hopefully everyone got through it okay. But anyway, you know what? Here's something I stumbled across just this afternoon, or actually the day before, on GoNintendo.com during an interview conducted with Nintendo main man Shigeru Miyamoto, and Shigeru Miyamoto would like to know why we want a new F-Zero game. And for more, AlphaOmegaSin is going to tell you exactly why we need a new F-Zero game. Isn't that true, AlphaOmegaSin?
If he has to ask, I'm gonna fucking turn that fucking big, never-ending grin of his upside down. I don't give a fuck how much the guy has done for gaming and how much he's put on a fucking pedestal. If you have to fucking question an entire fan base that's in the fucking millions across the entire world that has been loyal since the fucking 16-bit days when the fucking franchise started, why? It needs to continue on. And this isn't some fucking chump change franchise that's only had one installment, okay? This has gone on to... It's been on consoles, handhelds, and arcades. It's had its own fucking spin-off series into a fucking anime, all right? It's had fucking comics based off of it. It's got merchandising. If you can merchandise something, chances are it's kind of a big deal. You know, when you can have fucking Sega, who some of the most premier bad motherfuckers of making racing games, come in and help make one of the best games on the fucking GameCube. Yeah, a big fucking deal. They're not going to fucking work on something that's retarded. Wait, they did Sonic 06. That happens sometimes. But literally, you know, and everybody that's listening right now, you already know for a fact that we've talked about on multiple occasions on how awesome F-Zero is and how great it would be to have one on the 3DS and how it would take advantage of the fucking hardware, and especially on the fucking Wii U with the fucking horsepower that it has behind that. But is it happening right now? No, and apparently they have to actually question why. Well, fuck me. I guess, why don't you ask why we don't have... Why do you want another Earthbound, folks? That's fucking weird. I thought we'd just give you another fucking Mario Party or another Super Mario Brothers. You want another one of those? I mean, I do, but don't get me wrong, good games and everything, but you have a fucking catalog that is legendary. Legendary. That's why you were Nintendo. That's why people buy your consoles, to get Nintendo games. And this is one of the ones that you're trying to ask why we want it. You must be fucking high.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's the only fucking explanation. It makes no fucking sense. It's like, do we have to get another fucking 100,000 strong petition going to get your fucking attention? Another Operation Rainfall for you to take notice that there's tons of people that want a product? It boggles my mind that people have to fucking jump through hoops. Like, do you need a guaranteed fucking amount of people to buy something? I can't comprehend it. I really can't. Like, I've been salivating for another fucking F-Zero game. I've been wanting one. When GX hit, I got it. I got it immediately, played the living shit out of it, laughed my ass off at the fucking story because it was just funny. And enjoyed the shit out of it, played it in multiplayer, played it in single player, loved the living hell out of it, been fucking dying just to be able to play it in an arcade. And you want to know why we want one? I'm not a fucking alone when I say it's a fucking great series and I like it a lot. It's one of my favorite racing series ever. One of the reasons why I think the racing genre is fucking awesome. And you're wondering why. But you're going to give us Wii music. You're a fucking idiot.
It's like what Capcom's doing with the Resident Evil 2 remake. Oh, if fans want it enough, if they want it enough, we'll make it. It's like, motherfuckers, of course we want it. It's one of the most popular Resident Evil games out there. Of course we want it to be fucking remade. Of course we want an F-Zero game. It's like, okay, we want this game. There's demand for it. Yeah, we're not going to make it.
Realistically, I can see where he's coming from because Shigeru Miyamoto seems like one of those guys who gets really upset over a little, or not upset, but really excited over little things, but constantly needs new and innovation. And sure, I understand that, but once in a while, we'd like to get a sign that you actually like us.
Yeah. I don't understand the need for all this validation. That's the only thing I don't understand.
Yeah.
Like, publishers and developers, you need like an outpouring hundreds and millions of fucking people to give you validation that we like something, as if a fucking fan base that creates fucking fan art and memes and jokes and fucking continued sales of your fucking titles. Like, that's not enough. That's not enough to warrant it. The fact that you've actually built empires based off of these fucking things, off the hard-earned money that we've paid for your product that we like. I don't fucking get it. Like,
Calm down. Calm down.
Dude, it's annoying.
It totally is. It totally is. I mean, F-Zero GX, we were talking about it before the podcast. It's one of the best games on the fucking GameCube. I mean, anybody with a fucking pair of eyes and a brain can fucking see that. Surely Miyamoto can fucking see that. I mean, we got remakes out the ass. We got to remake a Star Fox 64 on the 3DS. I mean, you're telling me you got to remake a Star Fox 64, but not fucking F-Zero. We can't get some F-Zero love on this bitch. It's ridiculous, man.
Yeah, exactly. I don't care what it is, just something.
Yeah, and the thing is, if he was really looking for like innovation, fuck, dude. If you'd be like, all right, F-Zero, and then we're gonna put in like a battle mode for it, where you're driving like 8 gajillion miles per hour, and we're fucking fighting on top of that, and you're putting in
directly at someone else.
Dude, I would just shit. I wouldn't care. I'd buy fucking F-Zero diapers. I'd Falcon punch in my pants. That's cool. What the fuck ever. I want to see something like that happen. But, the possibilities are endless. They could literally do everything. They could just put they could call in Sega and just give us F-Zero GX2. I'd be fine with that. You could just literally give me a fucking sequel to that, and I'd be just as fucking happy, purchase it, and, it'd be all fucking gravy. We don't just need Mario Kart. It's not your only racing franchise. I hope that they fucking know that.
That's true, and it's also they have to look at it from the same standpoint of who would need it and why they would need it and how many people and so on. It's like, I'll guarantee it's at least as many people who you think are beating down the fucking door for Art Academy 3D or Crosswords 3D. Come on, it's at least that many people, and you went through that fucking bullshit trouble. Come on, cut me some slack here.
Yeah, there's stuff that they'll put
you
out.
Like me and my money.
There's stuff that they put out without even a fucking like second thought, multiple installments even. And this fans have to fucking like make tons of demands, and you have fans like me that are just like getting irritated and agitated and annoyed by the fact that it's not happening. That doesn't make any fucking sense. It's bad business.
Yep, extremely bad business.
Extremely bad business. You know what else is extremely bad business, or so I've heard, is LucasArts has been sold to Disney. Did you hear about this?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was big news for some reason. And now there's talk of another Star Wars trilogy, Star Wars Episodes 7, 8, and 9. And, well, SaintedMagnus, you were all excited about this. Tell me, why is this important?
Well, it just basically George Lucas has said he's passing on the torch to somebody else to actually make the games. Make this movies, and
Thank.
he's retiring. Basically, is what it all boils down to. He's taking a step back from these new films. He's letting a new CEO take over Lucasfilm, and they're using Disney's money to fund these new movies.
So wait. So you're telling me that George Lucas is actually going to let someone else handle this and step back and send it to maybe another kind of filmmaker?
Exactly.
Thank God.
Well, I mean, let's look at what the two best Star Wars movies are. And the two best Star Wars movies are the ones he did not fucking direct. So that's got to say something right there. I mean, as long as this man is not behind the camera trying to direct people, maybe you can get some good things out of this fucking series. Because didn't get that with the prequel trilogy, that's for damn sure.
Yep.
The prequel trilogy was an insult to everybody that liked Star Wars and liked what it stood for. Now,
Well, the prequel trilogy really went nowhere. It was 3 movies that absolutely depended on that fact that you saw 3 other movies 20 years before.
Yeah.
That's,
And that
what
even
kind
made
of
it worse.
movie is that?
And then if you've seen those movies and seen how much better those movies were, it made the prequel trilogy even fucking worse to bear.
Exactly, which makes you happy to know that those movies will be on DVD in high definition, and just watch them again. You'll be much better off. But is this good news? Is this bad news? That's what I like. I don't understand. It doesn't really affect me.
I have mixed opinions, to be totally honest.
Well, to enlighten us with some of your mixed opinions.
One of the things I'm hoping that they carry on from the prequel trilogy, and that was the lightsaber battles, because those lightsaber battles, they actually put forward what the Jedi did. Now, yeah, they were jumping around and all that sort of stuff, but it actually gave you an idea of what the heyday of the Jedi was. The storytelling and the actors that they used for those Jedi, I don't know. I don't know why. Jar Jar fucking Binks is the start of all them fucking shit-ass characters that we never
Merchandising.
Merchandising.
That's it.
Who remembers that game on the PC where you Naboo creature, whatever it was, where you basically you're a farmer from Naboo? It was quite weird. I didn't like that.
Imagine. But what I want to know is what effect is Star Wars 7, 8, and 9 going to have on, shall we say, the world as a whole?
Well, he just wants to put it forward for other people to enjoy. He wants to try and get more fans.
So, in essence, what he's going to do is something he should have done a long fucking time ago, and people are afraid now. A guy who can't make movies is suddenly not going to make a movie, and the entire world is up in arms about it. I'm sorry, but I feel lost here.
I'm just as lost as you are.
The main fear of everything that everybody has is that since Disney has a hold of it, they feel that the overall product could somehow become even more watered down, even worse, even more childish, and stray even further from what the original trilogy that made it so fucking famous was supposed to be to begin with. And with episodes 7, 8, and 9, you figure this is a continuation, of the original trilogy, which technically was that was the end right there. Not counting like the novels and shit, but for that trilogy, that was the end right there. They ended it well. Okay, we're done. Good to go. Now it's going to continue onward. So this actually could affect all the stuff in the original trilogy in a really big way, considering the fact that if you look at, I don't know, are they going to bring back Luke Skywalker? Are they going to bring back Princess Leia? Are they going to bring back Han Solo? Are we going to see any of those characters? Are they going to show up in some kind of cameos? Yoda's still alive.
No, they're all too old and fat.
That's the thing. That's what I'm saying, though, is will they do that to go and link those movies? And if they did that, would it turn out really fucking bad? And it's just like, there's a lot of things that people are just worried about. And, I'm on the fence about the entire thing. Like I said, I'm just in a gray area, and that's really the truth. I think that could go either way, but I don't think it could get any worse than episode 1. If it got worse, you'd actually have to look at that as the blueprint and then aim low.
Yeah, exactly.
Like that's the only thing. And episode 3, I actually thought was pretty good. Not great, but I thought it was pretty damn good.
For my money, episode 3 was only halfway decent because you knew what was going to happen next.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
they had to tie up a lot of fucking
I mean,
stories in
let's face
2.5 hours of film.
True. Well, I mean, especially episode 1 was really the worst. In terms of why, because it was the one furthest away. By the time you got to episode 2, it's like, well, it's almost over.
I actually think episode 2's worse, just because it's fucking more boring. I mean, at least I can.
It's a segue of a segue.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, at least I can watch episode 1 and laugh at how bad it is and have a good time. Episode 2's so fucking boring, it's unbelievable.
It's so dry. It is like watching deliberations in the U.S. Senate.
It is.
I swear that
It's
episode
just
2.
Ewan McGregor and fucking Samuel L. Jackson just talking calmly in robes.
That's it.
Dude, episode 2 suffered from Dragon Ball Z syndrome, where it was like Dragon Ball Z was like everything has to do with Saiyans and only Saiyans, and in episode 2 it was like Jedi, only Jedi. Let's just overload it with Jedi. You know how that they were supposed to be like really epic and shit? Yeah, let's just litter them everywhere. There's more Jedi than there are blades of grass in the fucking movie, and that's not how it should be. Like that to me is kind of fucked up, and the battle's just dear fucking god, episode 1, the highlight, I'm sorry, but was the very fucking end where it all culminated to one epic battle, and that battle was fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Episode 2 did not have any of that. It had nothing.
No, episode 2 had nothing. It was just like, just like I said, talking somewhat politely in robes.
Talking and frolicking on the moons of the planet Naboo.
As we all know, that's definitely Samuel L. Jackson's strong point, is speaking calmly with a robe.
As long as they direct the people in the new movies, as long as they direct these people like actual people and not fucking robots. I mean, when the most human character in the prequel trilogy is C-3PO, a fucking robot, you have a problem.
Hang on, you forgot about Jango Fett. He was actually one of the cooler characters out of the whole fucking prequel trilogy.
Yeah, and he gets his head chopped off pretty much immediately. So it's like, what the fuck?
I thought they would at least put him in the third movie, but no, they cut his head off. Or maybe his son come along, bit more grown up, and he's like, yeah, I'm gonna kill everything. Boba Fett would have been cool, and you think Boba Fett, and he's like, he's no good to me when he's dead, but then you see him as a fucking whiny ass kid. Dad, somebody's here to see you. Oh, for fuck's sake. I would have much rather not seen Boba Fett as a kid.
What's funny?
I'd have been okay if I just saw him as a kid shooting shit. I'd be like, yeah, look at that. That's awesome. That's what I expect of him. It's like he has a little jetpack and he's just like fucking shooting other kids and killing them. I'm like, look at that. That's so awesome. But
there you go.
Well, it was good seeing the Slave One actually firing and flying about and shooting shit. I like that scene. That was a good scene.
Now, listening to this conversation, I'm getting excited, actually. I can't wait for this really to happen, because I myself, much like Silent Rob, I'm one of those people who just likes to watch the world burn. And I cannot wait till episode 7 comes out, and fat people all over this country are going to be shitting themselves deaf over what changes Disney made. They're still going to buy all the merch, and they're still going to buy the games for the new Xbox that are, episode 7 TIE Fighter.
Oh god, that'd be funny. But here's one thing, a little story. I remember seeing episode 3. It was when on its Blockbuster. When it came out, I was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna go and watch this. I'm gonna enjoy it, and it was pretty cool. And I had to go on the day when the fucking Northeast of England branch of the Star Wars Appreciation Society had gone there, and there were all these nerds. Now I'm a nerd now, but back then I was a bit skeptical about the whole thing, and they were all wearing robes. They all had the cheap plastic lightsabers that you find for 10 quid at Argos, and when the credits started rolling, they all turned them on at the same time, and they're all sat in the front row waving them about. I was like, oh, for fuck's sake, just let me watch the film. I don't want to see a flashing blue fluorescent tube in front of my eyes while watching the fucking film. And then I fell asleep watching it.
Oh, there you go. You took the easy way out.
I took the easy way out and fell asleep. But I just couldn't, for the love of me, get my head around why they were sat dressed up to go and see a Star Wars movie, which you're in the dark when you're fucking watching it, to watch a 2.5 hour movie, waving around a fucking white a light stick, basically. That's what they were. They were
Yes.
proper.
After episode 2, like, how can you even get excited enough to even dress up after episode 2?
I know. It's just like, oh, well,
You see, I'm more of a fan of the expanded universe now than the stuff that's a part of the main universe, if you get what I mean. Like the spin-offs, like Jedi Knight. The best one was.
Are you
Shadows of
talking
the
about the
Empire.
novels that you read in middle school?
No, I'm talking about the video games. I like the expanded universe video games because some of them are really, really good. We mentioned this on the last podcast. Some of the best spin-offs from movies and games and stuff. But I have to say that I really do enjoy the expanded universe. My favorite one is KOTOR 1, which is
Oh, hell yeah.
that's the Old Republic one before Obsidian ruined it. But he did have that twist in there, and he was like, "Yeah, I knew that was coming." When actually he didn't. If you get what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
You're like, Who's this Darth Revan? I don't know who this Darth Revan is. And then there's a cutscene later on. I'm not going to spoil it for anybody because there is.
Well, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't spoil any movies because it's not a nice thing to do.
Motherfuckers will freak out.
Oh, no.
I know exactly. You can't do that. But speaking of movies, for those of you who don't know, Halloween just passed. Did you hear about this? They canceled Halloween on the East Coast thanks to this fucking hurricane thing. And so the Hate Bit podcast, you guys got to miss all the the Halloween festivities we had planned. So per Alpha Omega Sin's request, it is time for the Halloween Madness, and we're going to discuss some of our favorite scary movies and movies that we watched during the month of October and around Halloween. And I'm really excited to hear what everyone says. Now Alpha Omega Sin was just going off. He was talking about all this, that, and the other thing. And Alpha Omega Sin, tell the people what are the movies that was working for you?
Oh man, I've just been sitting here with like a smile on my face the entire time because I was like, oh yeah, horror movies, yeah, because Halloween
And a
is,
boner.
dude. If there's ever a time I'm sitting around and I don't have an erection, something's wrong, and I'm probably in the hospital. But the thing is, October is like all horror month. That's all there is to it, and I can't watch other things except for I did watch a lot of Frasier in between watching horror movies, but
That's pretty
yes.
horrific shit, man.
I don't know. I just really like that show.
Right there.
But oh god, where do I start? I watched all the Friday the 13th movies up to 8, and I won't watch anything after that. Let's see. Well, I did have an urge to watch Jason X because part of me likes that just for the kills, and it's kind of corny. But other than that, like Jason Goes to Hell is horrible. Oh my god, is that movie bad?
It's horrible, but it's actually violent as hell. That's kind of like why I like.
Mean, the thing is, it is violent as hell, but it's just like, I don't know, like some of the CG work in it, and then like the actual like story is just
the absolute lack of Jason Voorhees. It's like, what the fuck?
I question that. It's so bad because I remember like actually renting that from Giant Eagle, and I was just like, oh boy, watching was like, what the fuck? Like I was like, dude, this is like a limp dick noodle. This is fucking terrible. But let's see, watched all those. I watched all the Evil Dead movies since we were talking about that. So, and I watched them all on Blu-ray too, and that was amazing to see. And you can notice all the makeup fuck ups. Let's see, watched Night of the Living Dead, Dawn of the Dead. Let's see, Day of the Dead. Oh man, there's just so fucking many that I've seen.
I have to say, Day of the Dead's probably my favorite out of the Dead trilogy, though. I love that movie, man. Yeah, Day of the Dead. I just love how claustrophobic it feels, how it's underground, and it's gory as shit at the fucking end too, man.
Oh yeah, dude, that's got out of Romero's original trilogy, that had some of the best makeup work in it. It was just amazing.
Yeah,
I like that a lot. I mean, it's kind of fine to see like the original, like the black and white one, because the makeup, it's just kind of people hanging out and walking around.
Yeah.
There isn't much to it, but it's still really, really good. And that's why I like the remake, is because they had really good makeup effects in that, and it's much more violent.
Mm-hmm.
But let's see. I watched Leviathan. Really good movie, underappreciated like all hell. I watched the original Thing because the remake is not real to me and doesn't exist. let's see. Damn, there's so many other ones. I'm drawing a total blank, and it kind of sucks. But put it this way, folks, I did nothing but watch horror movies the entire. And the Great Pumpkin Charlie Brown. There we go. Because you have to watch that. If you don't, it's literally against the law, and you'll be arrested.
Right
What
before
did
the podcast,
what'd you say, teacher?
right before
That
the podcast,
freaks me out.
we were talking about The Shining and how fucking amazing
Yes.
The Shining is. So
And how fucking annoying Shelley Duvall is.
And her
and how we were all rooting for Jack Nicholson the
Oh
entire
yeah, right after that movie, you're like, I really want to punch the fuck out of Olive Oil.
Just give her one good Popeye.
Yeah, it's like, wait a minute. Scatman Carruthers got a fucking axe in the back, and Shelley Duvall still walking around. Fuck that noise.
Dude, and he did it on purpose, man. Kubrick was so meticulous. He didn't do anything by accident. He hired her on. He wanted us to hate her. He wanted the movie to feel exactly the way it did. Because could you imagine anybody else in that role, man? Like she nailed it, you know. So Kubrick is
There's
definitely
probably
one
a
of
couple
my
other
favorites.
bitches with fucked up teeth they could have got. Julia Roberts coming. So maybe. I mean, dude,
Yeah.
what kind of money would you give to see Jack Nicholson hack the fuck out of Julia Roberts? That's
Oh,
money,
dude.
baby.
That is that.
I would take out a loan to pay for that kind of shit.
sold me.
So,
Dude, that movie just in general, that actually is another one of the movies I ended up watching this month, and it's just that movie's a mind fuck on so many levels, and it's one of those movies that like people sat down and like have analyzed every single thing of it, like from how something is fucking recorded, from the certain camera angles to the stuff in the background, just little things that they said. It's one of those movies. You have to be pretty important to do that, and above all else, Jack fucking Nicholson as Jack Torrance is like one of the best mental cases I've ever seen in any fucking movie ever.
Oh yeah, he's fucked up. He's deranged before he even gets to the fucking hotel. You know, then he gets there and it just all hell fucking breaks loose, man. That movie's nuts. There's like a person
Well,
in
one
a
thing
bear.
one thing you can say about that movie is, are you really surprised when Jack goes crazy? He just, there's nothing really that wholesome about Jack to begin with.
I mean, you're married to this ugly ass bitch. Your fucking son's fucking finger.
It's like, this is about all my life's gonna be. All right, where's the grinding stone?
any more movies you watched?
Who, me?
Yeah, you, because it seems to be the AlphaOmegaSin filmography.
Well,
Oh well, I already went through mine. I ended up drawing. I'll ended with the Toxic Avenger movies were some of the other ones I ended up watch. Oh, and Puppet Master. Fuck, I can't believe I forgot
Fuck
about
yeah,
those.
Puppet Master,
There
man.
you go.
Puppet
That's a good
Master.
And I'll let everybody know, please do not watch Puppet Master versus Demonic Toys.
Actually,
Just
don't
don't
watch any Puppet Masters after the fifth one. That's pretty much
Yes,
it.
absolutely. Because, dude,
I
4 and
cannot
5.
believe how many of those fucking movies there are. There's more of those than there are police academies.
Dude, there's 10 of them, and they're working on the 11th installment now.
Yeah,
My God.
yeah.
But yes, so I don't know. I'll pass it off to Mr. Rob because he's a big movie buff.
Oh yeah, man. Fucking Return of the Living Dead. Had to watch Return of the Living Dead.
Yes.
That is
Very
one of
good.
my all-time favorites. I mean,
Did
you
you
got
watch Killer Clowns from Outer Space?
oh, dude, fucking Killer Clowns from Outer Space, dude. All day, man. I got fucking what else was I watching? Fucking you were talking about the Dead movies. Like I said, Day of the Dead, man. I'm all like most people like Dawn of the Dead the best, but I like how tight and like Day of the Dead is just it's a lot shorter, it's a lot grittier. I like to just put that in and watch that. That's the one. I like the music in that one a lot. And it's funny, like whenever you see a clip of Day of the Dead on the internet, especially on YouTube, they credit, like, how they credit the song for like whoever made the song. Like whenever you see a Day of the Dead clip with the music in it, they always credit it to fucking Gorillaz. Because fucking Gorillaz took that little sound clip for one of their songs. So like
That's depressing.
every
The
Day of the
internet
Dead-
is stupid.
I know, it's fucking credited to Gorillaz. So, yeah, watch that. Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I didn't hear you mention that, man. Fucking all about Texas Chainsaw.
Yeah,
Fucking-
for some reason that series went over my head, and I don't know how, because I was just I'm knocking things off left and right, and then it was that, and I was like, how the fuck did I miss that? And,
God.
the
I mean,
Halloween movies.
all those movies, Texas Chainsaw 2 is actually probably my favorite because, I mean, Dennis Hopper with a fucking chainsaw freaking out, man, it doesn't get any fucking better than that shit. Fucking, the only one that's like pretty much unwatchable is that one with Matthew McConaughey in it. That one was fucking terrible.
Yeah, that one's
You
retarded.
mean everything with Matthew McConaughey?
That's a horror movie on its own.
That's
Yeah, pretty much.
Fucking, but yeah, Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Watched all those, all the Halloweens. But you know, I one of my favorite Halloweens is actually the third one. Everybody likes to diss on Halloween 3, but I'm like, fuck you. Halloween 3 is fucking awesome.
Season of the Witch, that movie's great.
It totally was. I love the music in Halloween 3. I love the atmosphere. You know, like not every fucking. You know, I like what they were trying to do. They were trying to like have each movie be different, not have Michael Myers in it, and then they do that, and everybody's like, "Fuck you, we want Michael Myers, get him back, get him back."
Dude, legitimately, that was my reaction. The thing is, when I was little, I liked the movie. Then I got older, and I was like, Michael Myers is not slashing motherfuckers and not choking bitches. I am not down with this. Get this Mass Factory the fuck out of here. And that 3 more days till Halloween. Halloween.
Oh,
Halloween,
man, it's gonna be in my
3 more
head for
days
the
till
next-
Halloween. Silver Shamrock.
I mean, that movie's got balls, man. How many fucking movies do you know of that just straight up fucking murders little kids and they don't give a fuck?
I
man?
know, right? I mean, there should be more.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying?
There should be more movies with murdering fucking little kids.
It just melts their fucking faces off and shit, man.
Right?
It does not care. It does not care. But yeah, that's some of the ones I watched. I mean, the ones with Michael Myers though, probably the first two. You know, I watched. You can't watch the first Halloween without watching the second one. So
Exactly.
They kinda
Because like,
do.
how many times can they kill this motherfucker? Jesus.
exactly.
They
Well,
set
they-
him on fire. They blew him up. They electrocuted him. I think they gave him a pap smear.
You know what? I can say this much. There's one thing that I will give Halloween 3 credit for is a million times better than Halloween Resurrection and Halloween
Oh.
H2O.
Oh yeah, I don't fucking like Halloween 5 either. So Halloween 4 is really good. I like Halloween 4. But
Isn't Halloween 5 the one where his mask is like really fucked up looking?
yeah, it's really fucked up looking. They have the little girl like never talks. She's acting like she's retarded or something, and there's like some psychic link or some shit, and like it sucks. The fifth one sucks. But yeah, Halloween H2O. They should. I mean, it's like, how do you come back after chopping the motherfucker's head off? Somehow they figured out how to do that. I'm still in shock.
Hey, if it worked in Return of the Living Dead, it can work in Halloween.
That's it, man.
Yeah, the one thing I didn't like in Halloween Resurrection was the fact that they had Busta Rhymes in there kicking the fuck out of him.
Oh,
How
that was
the
ridiculous.
hell does that work? He's Michael fucking Myers. He's gonna fucking cut your head off.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the
he's
thing
got,
is,
like,
Michael
like,
Myers he can survive anything, and that dude's gonna come in and like try to fight. Like,
Yeah, he's like, trick or treat, motherfucker, and shit. I'm
Yeah,
like,
oh,
no.
Kicks him through.
dude,
the
I
heart.
remember that part was like in the trailer too, and I remember seeing it, and I was just like, I want to kill everything.
Oh, awful
Everything.
shit. Terrible.
I mean, that's like saying like you're gonna fucking have Justin Bieber go up and fucking uppercut Jason Voorhees.
Yeah, and it's like, and you talk about like the worst possible way to get rid of Jamie Lee Curtis too. Like there was nothing good about that whole scene. It's just like, oh, let's completely ruin her legacy in the movies and crap all over the fucking film franchise, and you know, let's set it up to where it's like an internet show and see how much more fucking bullshit we can ruin here.
Yeah, dude, they
Yeah, it's
they
a
made
great
that
idea.
shit so corny.
Oh yeah, it was terrible.
No, the H2O Resurrection. They can both fuck off.
Yeah.
I've
Yeah.
I've watched all the first 5, and my first favorite one is 3. I actually enjoyed 3.
Nice.
4 and 5, I didn't really see much of the point of them. The first 2 will always be the best.
Yeah.
You know, so what movies have I watched this month? I've watched a few scary ones. I've been trying to stick more with my action films because that's my favorite genre. But in scary related, watched the Alien films, all 4 of them.
Hell yeah.
Ooh, good.
didn't watch the AVP films because I've got them on DVD and that's where they're staying. And they're not going in my PS3 again. What else did I watch? I watched the House of a Thousand Corpses and Devil's Rejects because
Oh
they're
man, I forgot about that.
they're actually some good Rob Zombie films.
Those movies suck.
Well, it's a difference of opinion, lad.
I
Accept
like
it.
them, especially Devil's. I think Devil's Rejects is. I mean,
It was
really, I like that movie a lot. So.
Come on, everybody wants an uncle like Captain Spaulding.
This
I mean,
is
Devil's Rejects is worth it just for that Freebird part at the very end, man. That part is fucking awesome.
Oh no.
That's totally.
What else did I watch? Yeah, I watched Halloween and Halloween Resurrection and Halloween fucking H2O because they were just on TV and there was fuck all else on TV. What else did I watch? Oh, it's going to be about fucking 10 minutes of me
We're
thinking.
totally skipping over Halloween Curse of Michael Myers. There's no love for that fucking movie.
No. No.
No.
Oh, I actually watched Jason X. You mentioned it before. The one thing I liked about that was the fact that when they go into that hollow suite type thing, and you see the two girls saying, "Oh, you can climb in our sleeping bags," and then he's beating one over a fucking tree.
That was
Around-
great.
That was just
Dude, that made the movie for me.
Yeah, that was the best part.
yeah. You just hear this, and then he hammers the one on the floor.
Dude, what's
That
funny
that
is,
when
like,
he breaks that, he freezes that girl's face and breaks it over the fucking table.
yeah.
That was bad.
Dude, that part was so awesome. Like, is she basically, her face looked like a fucking slushy. It was
did.
awesome.
It did.
Like
Yeah.
it was cool as fuck. There's so many movies to watch this month. But Mr. Chaos, I know you and the missus, you celebrate Halloween in a big way. So what were you watching?
very much in a big way. It was a very black and white Monster Mash over here in the Yellkaos universe. No, it was very black and white. Did a lot of the Night of the Living Dead, the original from 1968. I'm a huge fan of that film. Not as much of the color reshoot. I just prefer movies in black and white for some reason.
I like black and white. Adds more depth.
Yeah, I enjoy black and white very much. I enjoy it so much that if I ever find out who colorized those Three Stooges episodes, I'm gonna shoot somebody through their fucking balls and their head. All right. Fuck that shit. Fuck colorization. But we did some of the Night of the Living Dead over here, and I think that the most terrifying aspect of that movie is your imagination. If you've never seen it before, you're waiting for just them to burst through the door. I'm not going to ruin it for you, but it's a very suspenseful film. We watched that one, and we also watched Tim Burton's Ed Wood, the biopic on Ed Wood. I know that's not really a scary movie, but it's about scary movies. And
Great
no,
movie.
I enjoy it very much. Tied in with that, I watched Ed Wood's Plan 9 from Outer Space. Horrible, and that's why you watch it. Absolutely. I mean, it's only about 25 minutes worth of footage stretched out to about an hour and a half. So
Yeah, pretty much.
I forgot
there's
to
that.
mention
And also-
one.
what's that?
Sleepy Hollow.
Sleepy Hollow. That's a good one.
That's a good one. There's nothing like seeing Christopher Walken beheading people.
Yeah.
Hell
And
yeah.
this month
Fuck
I also
yes.
watched. This month we also got a hold of Alfred Hitchcock's Psycho, which was dazzlingly good. I love that movie very much. And one that I have not seen since I was a little kid, but this movie that I had to actually get the disc on Netflix. Genuinely terrifying. Invasion of the Body Snatchers from 1956, starring Kevin McCarthy, who, as you probably know, is the old guy from UHF.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Hell
That is
yeah.
genuinely, it's almost no violence throughout the film, but is genuinely terrifying. And if you have a chance, or if you're on Netflix, check it out. You'll enjoy it very, very much.
Cool.
Ooh.
That was a lot of Halloween movies, I must say. We definitely, we brought it, wouldn't you say?
Well,
I think so.
I think
Yeah,
Alpha brought it. I just contributed.
Yeah, I think it was sufficient, and that's why I have to say, well, it happened again. You just wasted another chunk of your life listening to the Hate Bit podcast. We thank you for joining us. I've been Yellkaos. Joining me, as always, AlphaOmegaSin.
Bye. Nothing special, just bye.
The
So,
SaintedMagnus Show.
Yeah, see ya. See you next week.
And on behalf of the vacationing Razor Fist, our special guest, Silent Rob, like I said, Game Face Magazine's man with the most worthless game face, 2012, Silent Rob.
Silent Rob out, and fuck GameStop.
That's right, kids. Fuck GameStop and fuck everyone else. The revolution begins with you. If I didn't mention it already, I'm Yellkaos. Thank you for joining us. You guys have been great, and we have been the Hate Bit Podcast. See ya!
Podcast.